I mean, you could always extend the timer, right? To be fair, James.
Ah, that's a recurring pattern, James.
Ooh.
That's right. We don't blame it. We just blame it solely on the tournament itself. Everyone gets us qualified. I think it's a really fair assessment.
Oh, that's just all the other way around that I was expecting. Oh, wait, no, that's the sides. That's not the picks. Of course, that makes sense. Right, I'm going to get some water real quick.
And go do that, Brody.
Back in a sec.
Having a map called Tunisia in a international tournament is actually very confusing. Of course, now I feel like there's 3 countries tossed into this, but really it's a fucking map.
What up? Drafts are currently in progress. Fucking hell, man. Well, there's 2 people watching right now, so that doesn't bode well, does it?
No. Those two people could realistically just the staff. Or someone
That's
had
true.
notifications turned on. So we're just gonna ping the other one, see who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. But he doesn't.
You're back.
All good. You've got 3 minutes. Alright, you've not got 3 minutes. I'm having another blocks then. Actually, no. I probably shouldn't. Let's skip the... Fuck it. I just dropped one off. Bastard. Oh, real? Hey, everybody. Probably me. Probably me. Hi. Or else I gives a fuck. Well, guess I'm just not going to talk. Well, okay. Welcome everybody here to the UCE Nations Cup Grand Finals for 2025. It's not 2025 anymore. It's now 2026. Yeah, we're a month behind on this whole thing. That being said, it's time for the best of 7 Grand Finals. We've got Germany and Russia waiting, ready to go. We'll get to that here in just a second. Before we do, it's time to introduce your casters for this Grand Finals. I'm Infinity. I cast Call of Duty Mobile on the regular, and that is Connie, who also does it regularly as well. How you doing, mate?
Absolutely wonderful, Brody. And again, Happy New Year 2026. It's been, at least a month since we were revisiting what was going to be grand final, of course, thanks to the COD Mobile updates and the software updates to broadcast the game. We're now here in January. So I'm just looking forward to at least a grand final that should be a fantastic best of 7, mate.
Yeah, it's been a turbulent time for sure, right? Again, the fact that we had all those updates and stuff meant that we had to delay things to January. We just had the second semi-final completed just a couple of days ago, and yeah, we should probably start talking about why tonight's match is what it is. So about an hour beforehand, it was like, hey, this match is actually going to be Germany versus Russia. Now, that's funny because obviously Germany lost to Iran in the last matchup in the semi-final that was played just a couple of days ago, and of course England beat Russia back in December in that first semi-final that was played. So just going into effectively what happened here, we kind of have to inform people as to why you're not seeing an England versus Iran grand final. Effectively, in the last matchup between Germany and Iran, it turned out that a few players from England were ringing on Iran accounts in that semi-final. So it was actually players from England, Team England, playing on Team Iran, which meant that Iran beating Germany was actually England, or at least 3 players from England beating Germany. And so the result of that has meant that in finding that out, both Team England, who of course were doing the ringing, and Team Iran, who were being rung to, I don't know what the actual phrase for that would be, the English for that would be, maybe you can help me there, I don't know, but either way, both of those teams have been disqualified from the competition, leaving the losing teams of those respective semi-finals as actually through to the grand finals. So it's been a bit of a mess, Connie, but that's where we're at right now. I've just kind of thrown a lot of you, and I need your thoughts.
I mean, in terms of how this tournament has proceeded, lots of disqualifications have been chucked about, Brady. There's no denying that we wake up and there's new reasons why a team has not proceeded to the next round despite winning 3-0 in dominant fashion. I think we've stumbled through this. That's the best way I can phrase it. But I mean, reaching this point, it's definitely one of the more interesting reflections to have. Not just a situation where players were playing for Iran. I mean, you would never see that in traditional sport, like walking out into a field of fans and cameras on you in a different kit saying, oh yeah, I'm on this team now.
Yeah,
you won't know that. That's just the nature of esports. That's the belly of the beast. But I mean, regardless, the grand final, Germany and Russia, actually tips to be a good match, a long-standing rivalry well before esports even began.
Yeah. I mean, this is, as you said, this is something that is kind of a rivalry. So it's kind of nice that we do get it for this grand finals. With that said, let's start introducing our teams into this grand finals. Then, of course, we are talking about Russia versus Germany. Let's start with the latter of those two teams. This is a look at Germany. Now, for those of you who are fans of, I think, even kind of international Call of Duty Mobile, you'll recognize a few players on this team. Notably, I think Via, Neil, and Spy, all of which had played for exclusive at Champs. And that, I don't know if you remember it, so I don't know how much of kind of Champs you followed along with, Connie, but, exclusive actually did pretty well at Champs. They did kind of come out top 16. They didn't win a match, but they beat, OUG at Hardpoint, one of the best Hardpoint teams in the world. They actually beat OUG at Hardpoint. They, I think, were like 4-0 in Hardpoint in their pools. So, yeah, this is a pretty good Hardpoint team.
Mate, they were really impressive at Champs, more or less. When you look at the European region of COD Mobile, I mean, it is the most underdeveloped, Brody. We're talking about it for years. Ever since I was on SPS Season 4, I recognised Spy's name from when I was working with you over in Poland. That player is still lurking around. And exclusive back then were great, but heavy underdogs. And to see the Champs performance this year, I mean, the Hardpoint looked great, but again, the S&D and the control were very much developed against the world's best. So I'm just hoping, at least this German lineup, we might see some magic again like we saw in Champs. Definitely the heavy favourites in my eyes. But as for Russia, again, this is where stars can be born as well, because we don't know a lot about them on paper.
Yeah, I mean, I know a fair bit about a couple of these players at least, right? There's a few subs on the roster. I think, notably, though, you look at the main lineup and you've got Caesar and Sixelfi. Those are the guys for me that I'm kind of looking at. Caesar, I think in particular, has been another player that played for exclusive previously or was on that roster at Champs, and he's pretty good, although I will say, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful manner, he has always somewhat felt like the fifth man on that exclusive team, so Caesar definitely somebody to look out for, though. A big name on this roster. I do want to get a lot of love to Sixelfi, who was actually last time we saw a competition from UCE was EACS 2025. That was earlier in 2025, as the name implies. And 605 was a late addition to Troglodyte Tribe. He was a pretty good player on that team as well. Like, he was a large part of the reason that they got as far as they did in that competition. So excited to see what those two are going to bring to the table for this team. They've got the gunny, they've got some kind of firepower behind them, but I think the question for me is it going to be enough here for them to beat Germany?
I think having 605 in a team like you mentioned is such a massive boost to the confidence of Russia. I mean, he's a proven player that can be installed on any setup in any sort of given 5-man and instantly make the team better, which is a very redeeming quality. In Russia's case, I'm not sure how much responsibility he's going to want to take on, Brody, whether it's calling, whether it's filling, whether it's been the entry, the clutch. I mean, they haven't really settled for it. They're just thrusted into a best of 7, and they're going to hopefully find some stuff that sticks to the wall. That seems to be like Russia's mentality going into this one, because as we know, Germany have a lot more of a connection, a lot more of a refinement, and they just know that they are technically the better team, given what we've seen for the entirety of the tournament.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Germany were hot favourites coming right out the gate, right? You've got 3 players, again, that have played on the best team in the world for Europe, right? Or in Europe, I should just say. Obviously, Animus were playing as France in this competition, so kind of there was that in the mixer as well. But yeah, I mean, they were hot favourites right out the gate. And I think the other thing we should probably consider here is the fact that Germany, they were doing pretty well in that matchup versus England / actually Iran. They almost beat them. They were 6-1 up. I think it was 5-1 up in the Search and Destroy in that map number 5. They would have got through without having to get the forfeit had they not chuckled that final Search and Destroy. So, I think that just goes to show just how good of a roster Germany are. I think they're going to be tough for Russia to beat. But that being said, I'm always open to surprises, and hopefully we get one here. Just a note on the maps, guys, we don't have a map graphic for you, but we can run through very quickly here before we get into the first map, which, as you can see, is very clearly Hassi and a Hardpoint. We will be following the rest of the series with Tunisia Search and Destroy, a Takeoff Control, a Slums Hardpoint, a Coastal Search and Destroy, a Raid Control, and then a Standoff S&D, of course. This is a best of 7 for the Grand Finals. I mean, we've always talked about how much we love the Call of Duty mobile map set, Connie. It's going to be a fun time.
Absolutely. I mean, for the majority of the themes, a Black Ops map seemed to make the cut. Why wouldn't they? 3-lane classics. And it feels like Brody as well from regular COD. Hacienda, of course, was in Black Ops 6, not just Black Ops 4. But I've seen so much of it in the last few years that at least it's refreshing to my mind now to see it in the COD mobile format. We know how good it is as well. Not just a rotation hill to hill, but the gunplay can be quite exciting. Keep your eyes on the sub players. But again, Russia and Germany will kick things off. And now the set days towards P1. That's where the space will be taken.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one to see how this gets underway, guys, between Russia and Germany. And again, I think coming into this matchup, we are expecting Germany to come out the gate swinging. That's almost immediately what happens here. A wave of yellow in the kill feed. And I am really excited to see kind of what some of these lesser known names from me on Team Russia are going to be able to bring to the table. Because that's what the beauty of Call of Duty Mobile is. It is an open ecosystem. Anybody can step up to the plate and perform.
And what I like the most is Russia's ability, at least now, to understand where the spawns have to be early on. They've already gone for the north side of the map. Germany have got 22 points accrued from this first hill. Smokes are being tossed just to cause confusion, but the contests are even easier from this position. Although Vega gets a clean 2, look at where Germany are on the map right now. Near the south side, trying to cut through the middle. Neither team right now has real control over those P2 spawns. Just lots of diagonals and parallels from the north and south side of the map. And when you look at them sprint, they're just trying to cut each other off really hard.
Yeah, Spy currently in position here for potential rotation towards that next hard point. So Germany looking pretty good at this point in time for not just time off the back of P1, but also potential rotation in. You've got player number 4 pushed all the way out towards Rockside. That's going to be Neil, who does inevitably go down here to Nuber. So Spy now has to cut off player reinforcements through that lobby side. He will do exactly that. But now the front has finally fallen. Opportunity now for Russia to get in towards the hard point. Double setup in for Germany. Spy down. There's a player down in Veer and Lighty as well. There is another one coming through, and that's Russia breaking through the front.
Fantastic maneuver so far. They've also got 2 players stuck in the hill. When you're headying the podium car, it seems to be quite easy to move. But again, a very aggressive overextension here onto the stairs means that now there's a little chance for Germany to break back into the hill. Russia has more spawns here. They're going to be spawning right outside of the P4. And just where the mid cutoff is going to be, Germany are just flooding this little section here. Just this little escape to try and get a move. But Russia are getting the time back on the board. 34 to 47 is on the mark. A player is rotating as well towards the north side of the map, ready for the P3. Russia's proactively trying to win this game.
Yeah, good play from Caesar there, of course, with the Sparrow as well. Talking about kind of operator utilization, as we always do here on the cast. And Caesar bringing out that Sparrow is pretty huge for that control of the hard point, and a huge moment in the game, I think, for Russia to try and hold on. Caesar, off the back of that, did employ the EMP, so Germany will have to wait a little bit before they get those ops in towards the next hard point. But as that EMP falls away, they will now come. Nubra with the CX-9 in towards the hard point, looking for some kills here. Also has to help his teammate inside, but here comes some of that investment. Triple operators coming out from Germany. They want to push through the front of this hard point, and well, now all of a sudden it's just Lighty left up with the Sparrow. That's 3 ops through and not really a lot for it.
Absolutely, Brody. When it comes to the escalation on that hill, Russia now take the lead, but the smokes on top of the hill made the spams with the utility even easier. The War Machine could get kills, the Sparrow could get kills, just because nobody could see exactly where the placements were on the hill. Just an easy pre-fire, if you will. But at least now Spy has options available. An equalizer's been pulled out, at least to pinch around the back, and look at that lovely yellow kill feed. Russia is spawning right in the front door, though, of Germany. Look at the rotation towards New. Only one player lurking for Germany to try and get around the north side of the map, and it's just at least now War cutting off the German players to make Russia chain another consecutive hill.
Russia now looking for that rotation towards New. Germany, they do have an Annihilator out. It's Zuko to do it, and even that isn't really amount to much. Germany not doing a good job whatsoever at the moment with these operators. Russia just doing so much better at this point, but double nade over the top from Veer. That will open things up potentially for Germany in towards his time. Another beautiful nade for Lighty. That will isolate just War. He goes down, and that is an immediate break. Now coming through for Germany. The problem, of course, though, Germany getting for a moment. Nuba flies right back through for 3, and yeah, split spawns not really helpful there for Germany whatsoever.
Not at all. And look at the nade usage and the stun usage already. Everyone's chucking everything onto this hill. There's going to be no left over for a potential re-hit, a potential flank. It's just going to be gun v gun. And seeing how the movement can equalize a trade. But again, Germany are just spawning up right on the front door of Russia. They're doing so well. That's 2 consecutive waves where Russia have held this hill, at least hold a contest. And even the Hunter-Killer drone in the background and the operator usage that we can see, nobody's got anything available, Brody. It literally is just going to be manic, high-pace, high-tempo Call of Duty as we now revert back to the next set of rotations on this P1.
Hunter-Killer drone deployed.
Bodie, I don't hear you.
Need to deliver on the second, and well, he will get it indeed. So, flanking play from Spy. Really good play there, Connie. He does only get 1, though. I think he wanted to get more out of that. Absolutely.
I think in terms of what we need for this P2 right now, the chain, Germany won it. Russia have got 40 seconds left in this P1, and they have to try and soak this. And the reason being, 50-point gap can be formed. Germany are in a bit of a flummoxed position here, where they either A, have to contest, or B, sacrifice P2. Not just being down here in position, but the submachine gun players from Russia are very difficult to deal with. But Lighty has done an excellent job of just maneuvering, dancing his way around the catwalk, and reading the spawns of Russia, calling teammates for help, dodging the set nades and set utility. No information can be given. If Lighty can play his life very well here and remain efficient, then Russia are going to get flipped really badly out of this spawn.
Yeah, you need this EMP as well. It would be huge to stop it. There it is. EMP accrued now. How much more damage could Lighty potentially do? Another kill through for a Lighty. Looking for Borf. Going to be shut down by 6 or 5, but that's going to be the EMP that he wanted to get. Could potentially be crucial in stopping Russia from pushing anything in towards this hard point. Now back spawns here. Good for Germany, but they just can't get anybody in. It feels so individual through the coverage of the smoke now. There's the EMP, so that Annihilator is in the back pocket, but you will not get to use it. Those back spawns for Germany, finally, they will get in towards the time, and they're dealing with any potential flanking players.
And there's no real moment to catch a breath here for Germany. They're just holding a wall-to-wall gunfight. Everyone pretty much near the podium cars, down to 30 HP. Excellent work from Veer, at least to play his life partially there, because Russia now have got to try and control spawn, so they can't flip onto this hill, because the rotation for New is pretty much on the diagonal, on the other side of the map, if you will, right by the vineyard. So Russia need to get players cutting across the middle of the map through P1. Germany here are stuck in this awkward position where, yes, they can sprint right to the New hill, but again, Russia have got spawns to cut them off, Brody. I don't think they're really utilizing that power just as much as they should.
Germany, 10 points down at the point in time. Not in control of this rotation just yet. Russia are going to be the first player there. Again, I think they're kind of relying here, Germany, on one potential flanking player, but Neil's going to make his position known by taking Caesar out of use, so they should know about this. Through the front, though, Nuba wants to do something with the Annihilator, not going to be able to do so. Again, you should, technically speaking, know about that flanking player from Neil, and he's not effective whatsoever, but one wayward spawn has just come through. Is the read good from Russia? Yes, it is. They're holding on for a second, but here comes the investment.
And it's excellent moves from Russia. The time now in this gap is slowly starting to form. 30 points between the two, but hang on a second. Germany have just marched on into the hill. 5 down from Russia. They're spawning close by still because nobody is blocking the backside of Tin. And it's still going to be a very highly contested hill, Brody. The last 3 or 4 that we've seen, Russia have won the initial, but Germany are just able to get close spawns because nobody can afford to anchor, keep a deep block in place. So it's always a constant firefight around the corner.
Germany down at the moment. Fighting tooth and nail to stay in towards this game.
Capture the objective.
25 kills for Lighty, by the way. He is having a phenomenal game of Hardpoint so far. We kind of talked a little bit up between Spy, Neil, and Via for this team. They're not even the ones hot fragging right now for Germany. So shout out to Lighty for really keeping his team in it. But right now it is going to be Russia in towards the next Hardpoint in time. And, well, Russia are going to be the ones holding on for the moment here. War looking towards the middle of the hardpoint has helped with his teammate pushing all the way up towards the other side. Germany knocking at the door, trying to get through. Flanking play here being made, and there goes Neil. There, not potentially actually goes Lighty, but still Germany being held off, being held at bay for now.
Oh, massive kill for War to find there, cutting off through Catwalk. The rest of the German forces are punched right towards the open segment here to cut onto Hill. And again, it's a nade hotspot. Trophy there's going to be key at least now for Lighty to try and find not 1 but 2 kills on the Hill. And look at Spy as well, playing Water so eloquently. And again, it's just cutting off Rush. All of their break attempts and all of their different 2-3 player splits to break onto the Hill, Brody, it's getting cut down every single time. Spy's reading them perfectly. Again, I think in terms of rhythm and flow, he really is in flow state right now.
Yeah, Russia now up by 20 points over Germany. Zuko bringing out that Annihilator. It hasn't been that effective with it so far of this game. He needs to find some value for it for the middle of the map. And once again, he gets absolutely nada. Russia just seems to be getting the better of Germany constantly. Now Nuba, who's been phenomenal in this game so far. They're going to try and hold top side. Sparrow out for Germany. Lighty goes down. Once again, another operator that amounts to absolutely naught. But now Germany need to live in the chaos. They need to live in the carnage. They need to get control of P1.
Unreal maneuver thus far. A split kill feed down the middle. And, well, what felt like a 15-point game really has lived up to the hype here for Russia. In control for the last rotation. Germany now have to get as much time as possible off as P1 whilst rotating towards P2, and that is exactly what we are seeing here on the south side of the map. Russia, though, locking down spawns very hard and just about have the blocker in place, but Germany can flip with one big punch, a 3-person stack through a lane, and can potentially flip again, Brody.
Capture the objective.
That's the idea, Germany. They do want to flip at the moment, and they're going to get the flip spawns through. So now Germany got a 3-2 split here. 3 for the front, 2 for the back line. Will it work out for them? Lighty going to open up seasons with the first kill coming through. War Machine out for Russia. It amounts to nothing. Just one more player to deal with. And Germany, they've broken through the front.
Oh my word. Spy just about to get some nade off. Can pre-aim on the car. But Russia have got more numbers outside the front of the hill.
Now Nuba in towards the front here. Annihilator through. They're going to try and get it done. Nuba recognizes the back spawns. You've got the player on the other side to deal with as well. And both of those players go down. Yes, you end up taking a trade there, but you're fine with that. For Russia, they've got Germany locked in towards these back spawns. Potential flanking play from Lighty. EMP is the player on the other side. They go down. A 6-5 doubles up. Russia just trying to keep Germany out of the hard point. Spy going to invest the equalizer. Spy picks up 2. And now looking to try and clear some space through the front of the hard point here. This is a crucial bit of scrap time to take. And it looks like Germany will secure it as they take the lead in this game.
Oh, Russia rotating towards New. If they get the at least a kill on Vines, then of course Germany completely cut off on this brand new hill. Oh, wonderful work. So Russia practically made the call to block. Number 2's got a big gunfight in the back. Boom. Germany win that for spawns. Now Russia have to play a bunker setup. They've got to box themselves in tin. Watch at least 4 different angles where they can cut off. All while dealing with Russia. They've got a cruise missile as well. And on this hill, Brody, it's deadly.
Will that cruise missile do anything is the question. Spy going to get shut down. Now everybody from the front of the hard point here. Russia just needs to deal with Germany. Zuko comes through for a huge double. Neil following up another. Neil now going to come through with the War Machine. Fear, excuse me. Never mind. Either way, Germany in control of this kill. But it's these spawns you've got to be worried about.
And look who's dealing with it. Germany have got the spawns, but Russia are right in the front doorstep, Brody. And they can hold from this angle as well. They can hold from this angle comfortably. It just depends upon how they are switching the angles. And still, No Bear has found a way through. Three blue lines across the kill feed. Germany flipped it again. We're going to go to a final hill. P4, south side of the map. Germany be first ones there.
Germany trying to get it done. A couple of operators here for Germany. One in the back pocket for 6 or 5. So here we go. Neil going to bring that Tempest out almost immediately. Rouge trying to find his way through. Gets shut down. Double setup watching the doorway. Lighty goes huge for 3. And now it's Caesar shut out of the hard point gear. Germany double up investment. They want to close this game right now. They've got all the players in position to do exactly that. And Neil will mark the end of the game. 2 points away. War finding his way through. Desperation setting in for Germany. And it won't matter. You go down anyway. A 14-point victory for the Germans as they take map number 1.
Magical map there, Brody. Magical map. And what was interesting, I mean, Russia had control for around 2 rotations. 8 hills in a row. They had the lead, albeit 15 to 30 points. There wasn't really much of an escalation or a huge gap forming because, again, the spawn control when it comes to Russia, they win initial, but they wouldn't send a player deep blocking enough. So Germany would constantly apply pressure. 2 waves hitting the hill in 10 seconds apart. I mean, they just won the gunfights head to head. And listen, lots of contest time. Lighty really was the player that had that stand performance, as you mentioned, throughout half through the game. 40 kills at 150, 170 on the scoreboard. Yeah, he just shut everyone out. And in terms of what we really expected, he carried the team quite comfortably in the slag department, but also led comfortably in the objective roles as well. I mean, Caesar, 6 or 5, again, we mentioned not just a player that we know about deeply, but he put another star-storming performance again in this one, 50 and 39. I mean, the impact, though, you know that Caesar really tried his hardest to keep Russia and kept Russia in front for around 8 or 9 hills in a row. But again, these final clutch moments, Lighty and Neil, they teamed up and they took control.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, shout out to Lighty because he got that 3-piece basically right towards the end of the game that stopped everybody from Russia to get towards that final hard point. Of course, there were follow-up kills from the rest of the roster, but in a close game like that, it really can just come down to one big play, and that's exactly what we just saw there from Lighty. So Germany take map number 1, although, even in the freaking grand finals, we still can't stop using banned items. You're idiots! Idiots! Bruh! Wait, why? Use your brain! Stop using banned items! It's the freaking grand finals! You need to win one more series and you don't... You can use what you like! Do what you want! What are you doing?
There's not much we can do to support any case here, Brody. It's an absolute disgrace. How can the map be that intense, that beautiful? Oh, it's a DQ. Band attachment ruined what was an exhilarating map, and, you know, whatever you expect the series and the maps, what way they go, expect the losing team to win because somehow they haven't broken a GA or a rulebook rule set for attachments, you know.
Yeah. So just to be clear on what it was the USSS-9 FS Carbine Pro Barrel that was used by Zuko from Germany. Zuko, if someone can sing Germany, someone can from the chat can clip this for me. Zuko, you are an idiot. You, like, genuinely, I swear it's always Zuko as well. I could swear every single time that we have a banned item from Germany, it's always frickin' Zuko. Zuko, turn on your brain. Do not... And I swear to God, okay, if you load into this next search and destroy and you still have that freaking attachment on, if you're still using it, I'm going to lose my shit. Stop doing it. Okay, right, ran over with. Okay.
That's just what we needed, mate.
Just... I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like we, you know... what are we doing? What are we doing?
You know, insanity, the definition, Brody, is repeating the same action over and over again, expecting a different result. And it feels like each team has got a different approach to insanity.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, you'll find some attachment that just is on the gun, or some score streak that is on the class that just scrubs the map entirely. Despite nothing really looking out of place, because COD Mobile has got lots of different varieties of weapons and streaks to really make the game competitive. But I guess no one really just wants to listen to the rule set in the sense of, we'll make our own rules and make it competitive. But no, the book is the book. And nobody really has stuck to the book thus far.
All right. Zuko, you've been warned. I do not want to see any more banned items, or I'm done. I'm gonna be casting. I'm gonna like pull up my girlfriend from downstairs. She can cast the grand finals if I see one more banned item. But hopefully we don't. Hopefully it's all business as usual. We are going to Tunisia Search and Destroy here for the second map of this grand final. Reminder folks that this is a best of 7, so we've still got a long way to go before we see the conclusion of this grand final and this, of course, year of the UCE Nations Cup. So yeah, just It's going to be a fun one. Hopefully we don't have any more bans. But yeah, Tunisia is always a good one. I think I've really enjoyed the way that Tunisia has kind of evolved over the course of the last few years. I remember, when Tunisia first came into the competitive map set for Call of Duty Mobile, it was a very defensively sided map. Like, it was extremely difficult to break sites. It was extremely difficult to kind of do anything on this map. And I think, the way that teams have gotten better at using UCE to break sites, just hitting things together. I've really enjoyed how much, I think, more complex Tunisia is now compared to where it was only a couple of years ago when it first came into the map set. So it's always a fun one. Keep an eye on those sniper rifles, as we always do for Search and Destroy. Vera Neal, that's going to be a troublesome duo, the sniper rifles for Russia.
Oh, 5 nades flirting over towards A and a simple stun towards B, no information tagged. However, Russia have been notified of at least, a player towards crates. So, a lot of action towards A. A few gunfights are taking place. First blood is drawn. 605 gets one out the picture. But look at the Russian players. Not pinching, but actually looking to reinforce the front. Lighty has done so well, at least to get one out of the picture. But looking at the numbers, Russia have stacked well. A simple 4v1 to round it all out. They smashed the front and the hill. They had the irons locked onto the head glitches, and they just found the kills comfortably. But if Spy can convert, well, I mean, shooting your body in a 1v4, not optimal. Pre-fire, I like the idea, but again, it's not going to be, the biggest move here, Brody.
Yeah, Spy in a 1v4. He taking some shots in the body here, just trying to get in the heads of the last remaining players here around the site. And there he goes down here. It's just incredibly difficult to do anything in that situation. Not going to get a chance to rip any players off headies in that instance. But that's what we're talking about, right? You get your players on towards the site, you full send it, and you will be fine and dandy here on Tunisia. That's exactly what happens. So we'll see now what happens to Russia. They already seem pretty comfortable with 5 hitting something. Straight for the middle of the map this time around. Nade through the middle of the cut. And if you're Neil, you have so much to deal with. He's just going to back away here, try to take a different angle, and it works out perfectly. Neil goes massive. Oh, goodness me. Neil, stick the sniper right up their rear. Get him in to die. 2 more players, and it's an ace for him.
Oh, bomb dropped as well, Brody. Very difficult now for Russia to really have any impact. They're fearing Neil's sniper rifle. At least though, a simple trade and your sniper's out the picture there for Russia. 604 had to pinch back, but was pinched in return by Germany. Yeah, Neil won the round for them. There's no real questions asked over what impact really sort of was the catalyst for that round. Neil just got 3 in a row. 3 crucial kills in mid-map as well, might I mention. Russia's presence on A eliminated. Now towards round number 3, these set nades are going to be crucial. Look at Germany's stack towards B. It's a different break-off, Brody, and they're going to try something new.
It's going to be hit towards B this time. Are they ready for it? Spy over here. He's down for the count. Now down to Via, and he's nowhere near as successful as Neil at getting more value out of that sniper rifle. So they've done part 1 of this effort. They've got themselves on the site, and I love this play from Russia. You immediately overwhelm the back line. Neil now needs to try and play his life here. Now we're going to get aggressive here as the bomb. Not down just yet. Lighty on one side with the HSO, Neil on the other here with the Tundra, looking for some kind of re-entry in towards the site. And Neil, slow and steady, as you like. Lighty's managed to get all the way through here, and he now needs to trade plates, so looking for the kill against War, gets shut down immediately by a player from behind. They tried to clear out sight slowly, but it just didn't work.
Oh, it was a difficult round, not just for at least Germany's hopes. It was just more or less how they're planning to at least assess every single round from here on out. Because, I mean, listen, Neil can be a great player and can win you the round, but in a set structure, smashing it onto A might be the right response here for Germany. I mean, Russia have got 2 lanes covered in this case. I mean, we've seen Lighty and Hardpoint have fantastic showings of slaying brilliance, but again, the shotgun in hand, Brody. Back in the first installation of Tunisia, this was like the be-all and end-all. You know, shotgun players were really on the pedestal for breaking and getting the first bloods. Now, again, it's the sniper rifle players. It's really nice to see how the map's evolved, as you mentioned right at the start. But, I mean, look at Russia. They can just play time here. All 5 players alive. Spider gets that first blood drawn, but can't read the pressure. Calling for reinforcements and stuns onto B.
Spy backing out here, getting a kill is everything, because now you've got players coming over towards B, as you said. The reinforcements have already arrived, and that kind of put us an entire stop to Russia plan here, right? Because now, you know, they can't really do anything in this instance. They were hoping to try and pull a fast one on Germany, but now potential flanking player. That's read perfectly by Rouge, who does pick Lighty up. Big player off the board now, and that potentially opens the door here for a rewrap straight back towards A. Absolutely love this play from Russia. But again, you do have to actually exhaust a little bit of time to do so, and the adaptation has already been made from Germany. Zuko needs to find some value here, hopefully, with an item that's not in the ban list, but he is isolated here for the moment. Needs to at least pick up one. We'll be hearing a lot of audio here, and Zuko does more than just one. Picks up the double. Now one more player. Zuko puts some shots into him. Nuba, I don't think is long for this world.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, that right there was a wonderful instance of awareness. Playing the pillars, a dirty off-angle Brody, and no information, no stuns thrown in that area. So he just slipped by undetected and then just turned and aimed. It really is one of the more simple mechanics, but again, massive brain to execute it in that moment. And it ties the team's level. We're now in round number 5. And Russia again, it goes more towards A. And the set utility doesn't connect with anyone on Germany, but Germany's nades go really deep onto Russia.
First blood here for Neil. Russia still seem content with getting towards A. Technically it was a 4. I was going to say it was a 4v3 on site, but it just keeps on getting worse. Zuko doubles up. Lighty with the shotgun for the penultimate kill. And the final snipe to close things out. Russia, they were successful at first getting a snipe, but they seem to be stopped now.
Yeah, they just pushed Scaffold straight away. Did you see how aggressive they were to get into Scaffold and around the hallway? I mean, that was the entire pinch cut off there. And, you know, no matter of sprinting, your gun was not up in that situation. You know, you really couldn't win that fight at all. And Neil again, same angle, very close to the pixels. But Russia here are putting more of their marbles in mid, Brody. I think it's a different route to take. And although Veer is dead, the information for Germany is there. Their pinches can be set up, but Russia have so many players stacked here, the trace can always go their way.
Well, Russia looking pretty good at the moment here. They got a 4-2 advantage. The last couple of players were isolated as well. So Zuko's made a bit of noise. That might give them a false sense of security here as to where Lighty is around the map. You would imagine to a certain extent that he would be around his teammate. But Zuko, I don't think he wants to wait. Oh, would have been nice if he could have got that kill, but now he won't be able to. Lighty has to reveal his presence. Has the Tundra in the back pocket, though. Might not be something they expect. Doesn't matter anyway. Newbie shuts Lighty down. And that's going to be all even Stevens here at the half.
And I love it. Not just how we're going to flip it round. Intention to see what's going to change. Germany, in this instance now, have got momentum in their hands. A few players now starting to show up here on the scoreboard. I mean, Zuko in particular now is really playing the island beautifully here for Germany and changing the rounds in tenfold. Looking at the stack over towards B, look at that. Warwick, 2 clean kills, stun still being tossed onto B as well, so Germany here cannot take any space and Russia can just aggress forward with the shotgun players in hand. With the disadvantage, Brody, it's going to be really built on not just how well can Warwick play, but Caesar too. He's getting involved in the action as well.
Alright, well, it's going to be that same play once again here. 3 for 3. Spy and Via, what can they do? They, technically speaking, just need to steal one more player and might actually get a freebie out the back of this one with Newbert. Playing his life perfectly, just going to hold that angle. Now just down to Via, left up here. Not much that you can do. And the last couple of players, I would have liked to have seen a bit more proactivity out of them. Either way, they do fall.
Yeah, and I must say, in terms of expectations, Russia looking comfortable. Not just in 1v8 situations, but they're also making sure, again, that when they're taking space or Germany are just throwing extra stuns to try and block them off, they're not making it too awkward for themselves, and they're actually very confident predicting where the 50-50 might be. Stacking it towards A. Nades over the top.
Caesar down. There goes Rouge as well. Looking pretty good if you're Germany here. This is a free entry on towards the site. Now, I think the next thing is just don't get over-aggressive. There's no reason to. Oh, never mind. Get as over-aggressive as you like. Nubra down. There goes War. There goes Sixelfi. It's a meltdown here on Tunisia. That is a perfect execution from Germany.
I know. And, wow, what a search and destroy so far, Brady. 4 and 4. Round for round, bar for bar, each team has met the expectations. And look at this break off here from Russia, a 2-on-2, but with the player again with an option to wrap towards A. So they've got a heavy stack, but look at all the nades from Germany. They're going straight onto Russian players. Caesar is just spraying through the wall. Nobody there from Germany on a full health bar. But again, everyone stops for a second to catch breath.
Kills coming through here for Russia. If I'm Germany, I would just try and play patiently here. Lighty gets a freebie, and yeah, now you're stuck as the last remaining player for Zuko. Yeah, it kind of feels like Germany are playing so damn twitchy. Even that little peek coming through from Lighty there. Like, yeah, you take a 1-for-1 trade, but you might as well just try and play with the last couple of remaining players and try to get the hell out of dodge. You have no reason to overcommit in that situation. You know that Russia are going to get aggressive, but yeah, it could have been played a little bit better there for Germany.
Oh, in that situation, definitely. Just a couple wrong looks and a bit of adrenaline to ruin the round. And now look towards A again. They're starting to find their feet a bit better. A lot of trust here on the two island players here on Catwalk. Lighty, though, has found an excellent maneuver here to pinch through mid. And with Zuko just holding support, again, has to stick to a lane, has to stick to an angle here. He's flicking left and right, but looking at the pressure, Russia can really stack it. But, oh, they just pushed so far back, Brody. It's the worst spot to be in.
I guess what you're hoping for is over-aggression, but even then, Neil is actually winning these fights as well. Things just go from bad to worse. Last remaining player, I believe, has already been tagged by a stun, so Nubra should get to rights, and Lighty gets aggressive with the HSO to close the round. It feels like we're kind of just trading rounds at the moment, right? And Germany, whether or not they're actually successful in executing on towards the A site, if they're not successful, the round just kind of fetters away. So that feels like maybe that's the key to success at the moment if you're Russia, is just making sure Germany do not execute properly on towards these sites at the moment.
I feel like a lot of the instances here, there's no real set play from either team, no real set pieces, just a break off, and they're defaulting on the spot. They're trying to just adjust in the moment, and again, it creates these coin flips, and that's why we're at 5-5. Round for round, it's just, yeah, you know, plus minus. And looking at just Germany in this situation here, are playing a 5v5 with only 15 seconds into the round. They really want to control mid, get that first blood on the board, and Blighty again answers the call, dips out of dodge, and now looking at Russia and their adjustments, they're just trying to control a site, which ultimately is the better play.
Down to 4v4. Try and get this bomb down. Ah, now you most certainly will. Double snipe coming through from Viera and Neil. Coverage through the middle of the map from Spy as well. Sixelfi not crossing no man's land today. Spy might, I was going to say, might be able to get away with the regen there. It doesn't matter anyway because the trade from Zuko is good. And again, I like it from Germany. They change their strategy ever so slightly. They get on towards the site. And that is GG's in that round. Germany just one round away from tying up this grand finals.
I know, and fingers crossed, Brady, they actually have all the attachments correctly this time, because I feel like, again, this is another situation where they're in a clutch factor, and they've got the talent to close this one out comfortably. Caesar has to get big kills up here onto the hallway, onto scaffolding, because that's where the big push is for Germany.
Zuko shut down. And now here comes the real test, right? I talked about this. Once you start to lose those opening gunfights, what happens on the follow-up? Sixelfi stunned up. Oh, survives it. Sixelfi. Surely not another one. Stop giving him free shoulders, man. Why? What are we doing? Straight through from Spy. Spy traded out. Neil down. And it's exactly that. It just feels like Germany, they are unable to just hold an angle. They always have to chow out. They always have to try and get the kill done and dusted. That is European Call of Duty Mobile at its finest.
To a T. The word hold in the dictionary doesn't exist. It's just peek. Peek and chow. Every single time. And look at the nades as well. Again, very tactical here from Germany to place them that deep. But Russia are playing wall to wall. I think they might try and utilize mid again here. We saw it in round 7 where they just stacked 3 players there and then on a trade, but Germany aren't giving them, you know, that end of the bargain. They're sticking a lot of their bets on B. But Veer gets that first blood drawn. The kill in mid now opens up pressure and a lane of attack for Germany. And again, no one's being over-aggressive. They've slowed it down, Brody.
Yeah, for the best. You do have one player pushed all the way up, and that will be Suko. Trying to keep an eye on that opening angle. Russia, for the moment, will just hold. May check from 6 or 5 here. I think that will land short of anything. He'll check the close corner. Has a little bit of information as to the very least where players on Germany are. But it is an information gathering phase at the moment here for Russia. Just trying to find any way to poke and prod at the defense of Germany. And I have to imagine part of this as well is trying to play for that over-aggression that Germany feel like they've been known for here. Nuba, here comes the Chow, out. Spy down low. Spy doesn't actually get the freebie here. That's not great because now Nuba can reach out with the Tundra. Chop through the wall. Will whiff. 40 seconds now on the clock here. There wasn't really a lot of time for Russia to just keep on volleying about.
Exactly. Look at Germany's response to that situation. Look at this player in mid here, Viv, for example. As soon as the kill was found, or at least the gunfight was found on Nuba, Viv just started, twitching away instantly, expecting pressure to be there. But in reality, we know what Russia's tactics will be. It's going to be, in this case, a 3v4, or a 3v5, sorry, Brody. And they're going to have to hedge all their bets that there is at least a collapse or, a concentration where they're going to beat Germany. But looking at these trades, the bomb's been dropped. Russia's got one player left, and the 3v3 on for site control, it just wasn't enough. Germany, although they're in charge, they're on match point as well. It needs to be an 8. If Russia get around them, we go into overtime, and it's the first to clear 2.
Defend the objective. They have the bomb.
A much better player there from Germany in that round. They have advantage now here in this deuce. Here it goes. Germany trying to face their real demon, getting control of the site. You'll take a trade though. If you're Russia, Zuko down for the count. Now 4 versus 4. That bomb will be down inside the cut towards top winery. Lighty, just keep your head down, bud. You don't need to get aggressive.
We got the bomb.
Just hold for the moment. They've got control of the bomb. And theoretically speaking, if they want to, there is an open opportunity here to try and just rotate away towards B.
I mean, I like that A setup, Brody. They've got trophies down and they can play open corners. They can play very open angles. But again, it's just Germany are relying so much on these head-to-heads. Oh, Nuba finds that first blood. Find the first blood, sorry. It's a 3v4. What am I talking about? Look over towards A and look at this little awkward corner here where Germany are just pinching either side of Russia.
Lighty potential, a lot to do here in the middle of the map. Needed to get away there, clean the gunfight. Just barely touches the toes of Nuba. Nuba now knows where Lighty is as well. Should be watching this angle like a hawk. Can Lighty outgun him with the HSO? That's a gunfight you really do not want to take, but he needs to win it to open up some space for the middle of the map here. Perhaps play a distraction play, because now you're losing your players on the other side of the map. They know where the last player is. It looks like this overtime's about to be extended. Lighty, whoa, making it last longer. Oh, never mind. Nuba with a slide out on the pistol to shut him down. We go to another couple of rounds.
Exactly that. Now, again, we have to clear 2 in order to find a winner for this one. And I think that's also why it gets quite funny as well. Goes to 8-8, then it'll be the first to 10 and they're remaining on 8. But, I love this, must win by 2 legs sort of system. It's very much a winning formula, but Russia sticking it towards B. Every player gone there. They've absorbed so much utility, the nades literally bounced off their heads. And Zuko's got an angle, and he can challenge beautifully here. He's got all the angles, all the time in the world for Germany just to hold an einsight. Their surf is punishing. They can just mow down every player here. A retreat's the only real answer to this round. Russia have lost 3 of their teammates. Bomb is dropped. Germany have it covered.
Looks like this could be it. 6 will fight. Trying to salvage it. Would be an ace if he could get it done. Oh, that gunfight. That might have been it, but no. Denied. Germany. They get a round done. Oh, goodness me. Much, much better from Germany again. It feels like when they want to get their team play on point, when they want to play as a roster, they can absolutely win it out. And that's another good example of it. But now they need to do it on the offense again.
And the key to victory in this one, Brody, is just holding an angle. They can twitch, that's fine, but it just costs them way too much when it comes to the pressure read. They can't have an accurate description of it. Okay. Now, Nuba again has got the idea on point here. First blood can be drawn. Nobody from Russia wants to progress forward, relying so much on Nuba here to eliminate Germany, and he's done so well. But Zuko's retaliated in this spot. He's got a head glitch. Oh, Zuko! Wow, that's pretty much the round-defining moment. 4 dropped on Russia.
Now, Zuko might have just had the game-defining moment that what looked like a terrible offensive effort for Germany completely falls apart. at the seams as Zuko rips it away from Russia. Now it's all about the reads here from Rouge. Might have just perfectly read it. Has he got some kind of audio cue or something? He has perfectly read this rotation, but now needs to actually follow up with a gunfight, and he can't do it. Zuko aces the final round of Search and Destroy with one of the most insatiable plays we have ever seen here in the UCE Nations Cup. And what a moment to do it. It all looked rather depressing in that final round when Germany didn't look like they were going to be able to actually get on towards site. Their util was pretty poor, if I'm honest. And Zuko just comes through and rips players off the headies with the SMGs and has the final say as well in that final 2 versus 1. Shout out to Zuko. Redemption arc for him, really, considering how much he pissed up that first game up the wall. He manages to tie things up in this series.
Yeah, he really is puppet master, Brody, for the entire series. Had a reason and an impact on both maps, but for very different contrasts. I mean, looking at the numbers as well, I mean, Zuko at 18 and 10 for this S&D. I mean, not quite as good as his prior performance. We were told as well, just behind the scenes, that he did drop 20 at one point in a Search and Destroy. And also, another fun fact, Brody, is that Zuko has won every single tournament this year regarding UCE. So if he wins this match, wins this cup, he would officially have won every single tournament for the year and calendar year itself. So, yeah, he's got quite a few check marks to get on the board if he wants to, you know, establish what is a record-breaking year for himself. But again, make sure the attachments are there. That's all I can say.
just don't use a banned attachment. Hey, we would be 2-0 right now. However, that was a really close Search and Destroy. And I have to say, one of the things I think I do increasingly find with Europe, and I've said this, quite often, and it's incredibly true, I think, specifically in Search and Destroy, something, when we kind of bring the conversation back to how Exclusive performed at Champs, for example, right, with Europe, not necessarily on their backs, because Animus were inevitably also present, but still, their respawns have improved dramatically comparatively to what we'd seen in the past, but their Search and Destroy still felt really lacking. And I think part of that is kind of the European tendency, and I'm sure everyone in chat can agree, the European tendency to just chow everything constantly without any second thought about any overarching strategy in the round. Europe seems to do that very often, and so I think that if I go back to that Search and Destroy, how Germany managed to win, it was just in certain situations where they just stopped doing that, where they stopped being silly with the way that they were playing those rounds. They got much, much better, and they ended up working out in that final round as well. So Search and Destroy, it barely goes Germany's way, but it does. It means we tie things up here at 1-1 as we go into map number 3 of this best of 7 grand finals, folks. It's our first control of the night. We go to Takeoff. We go to Raid? We
go to Raid. Yeah, Raid was map number 3.
Map number 3? All right, I misread it. It's Raid. Never mind. Raid is the map. Really excited to see how this one goes. This is always a fun one.
Absolutely. And already, Zuko looking to establish himself in this third installment of the series. But looking at the trades already, I mean, Russia have cut through wonderfully. Nuba and Sixelfi have now set up at least in mid and also in driveway here too. I mean, Warwick had positioned himself in a point where he could have got 3 or 4 German players, but an excellent break attempt though. And Zuko again, a 1v1 for the B point. Nothing towards the south yet, because Russia have 2 players there to cut through mid and also to hold position. Looking at the live count, Germany banks very much on getting B. 2 ticks on the board. Just hasn't panned out that way, Brody. They're fighting from the back foot here in a 7 life differential and no momentum in their back pocket.
Yeah, it's starting to get worse as well. 6-5 now pushing all the way up the map. He's on 3 in a row. Keep an eye on 6-5. Say 6 spree or 5 spree, excuse me, to start off this control. He's very close to an EMP, and that would be disastrous going into a round number 3. We're using the Predator missile now. All right, fine, I guess. It takes 1 player off the board over by A. It will stop that first tick of progression coming through, but 6-5 almost immediately gets shut down by the driveway. A couple of kills now starting to come through. Now 3 for Germany, and off the back of the Predator missile, the door might have opened here for Germany to make a move forward.
Oh, look at the cutoffs here as well, Brody. I mean, excellent pinching, but also terrible looks from Russia. They were not checking the right angles. They were just sprinting onto B, hoping that they could get something on. But looking at the ticks themselves, I mean, again, we're looking for time here. If we're Germany, we need to get some board. Russian, at this point, understand the play and the structure. They can sacrifice B because A is so much easier to defend. But they also want to make sure, again, that they're simultaneously taking lives away from Germany. And this 5-life gap needs to be retained if they want to stand a chance as well. Because looking at their form momentum, they can stack the south side of the map. Looking at the control in mid as well. I mean, Germany are going to be down to 5 players now, and they're going to have no real effort to team up and potentially get 2 E1s.
5v8. This is still plausible for Germany, and if they win this, what a win it would be. But still, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, putting the cart before horse, as it were. Germany, they're going to hold on. 4v6 now. Spy, trying to deal with War inside Tiki. Looking for it. Warwick. Gets the kill against Spy. Beautiful slide out. Now trade inside the kitchen. All just down to Zuko and Lighty. You've got 50 seconds here. You've got a little bit of time to play with. You do not need to get over-aggressive. Overzealous Caesar in the corner. Did Zuko think he just checked it? Oh, he thought he did. Oh, he gets the kill anyway. Doesn't matter. The trade from Sixify is good. Lighty gets away with the gunfight against Sixify. 1v2 now from the 1v3. Last couple of players are isolated here. This is more than plausible.
Absolutely, but looking at Russia, they've really isolated themselves here into 1v1s, Brody. This isn't the ideal team player I want to see. Realistically, they just need to stick as a 2, but also make sure they're not trying to, you know, keep Germany, in this case, Lighty, access to Tiki. Oh, didn't rotate instead, went around pool side, and a simple track, a simple red dot. Nothing more, nothing less. Russia get the round on the board. And yeah, it felt very chaotic right from start to finish, where Germany again immediately tried to sacrifice B early on, and the mid control didn't go their way. But flipping it round to this side, Russia do the same thing. Trophies onto black bands, try and avoid blowing up, but Setlays go for the middle. Lighty wall bangs off the rip.
And now it's starting to wish you would have had that EMP for the beginning of this round, because there's an immediate investment coming through from Germany to get something going into round number 2. A couple of kills now coming through for Russia, though. Lighty not really get effective with the Sparrow. He's immediately shut down. Can Veer have better fortune with the War Machine? Oh, he runs out just before he gets another gunfight with Caesar and ends up losing it. Mid-map control now. Russia really starting to mount an offense here towards a point. All just down to 6 or 5 through the smoke. Can he survive? Yes, he can. He keeps the play alive for Russia. Opens the door once again for the rest of Russia to come to spawn and do some carnage. Finally, 6 or 5 shut down. And finally, Germany get a foothold over by B. But yeah, that was way, way more difficult than it needed to be.
Oh, they really overcomplicated not just the easiest situation, but they also are very twitchy, Brody. They really want to get kills on the board, and I can understand why. The first round was just way too manic at the start. The middle and end, yeah, they played it carefully, and that's really where things changed for both teams. Now looking towards this, touching time on B, progression on A, death machine for Warwick. Hang on a second, look at the spawns as well. It's going to split Germany right towards A, so they can potentially get Russia off this. But this War Machine, again, might be a distraction. Straight towards money. 6 or 5 can hold it. It's all about, again, just rotating between 3 angles. Stairs, money window, and basketball court.
Progression being made right now. Beautiful read from 6 or 5, who continues to go on his second big spree of this game. 18 frags to his name and counting. Has the equals in the back pocket if he wants to. Hunter Killer Drone now ready to go as well. Oh, beautiful slide out from Lighty. That means the pred will be denied, but still, damage done. Second tick, I believe, did actually go through for Russia there, so they are feeling pretty hot, and it's going to cause an double investment from Germany. They do not want to lose this round, and it's all or nothing, and it's going to be the latter. You go down to your final 6 slides, you get nothing for that double up investment, and Nuba adds insult to injury with the Tundra. You're down to your final 4. Germany starting to feel just how shallow they are in control, as Russia are really beating them down. And at this point, if you're the last couple of players here, Connie, do you even want to try and win this round? Like, do you want to give Russia the opportunity to do this on ticks?
I mean, it could pan out that way. But look at Germany's situation. I mean, that's really where the kill mattered the most. Veer is an open target from that point. And I feel like, again, you know, you've relied so much on one player just shimmying around outside of laundry, because that's where the pressure was going to be. But Veer was way too open up top. But again, I understand he had to cover so many angles, and Russia could hit from all angles in that case. But still, now they're only 1 round away from making it 2-1 and closing out this raid in quick fashion.
A couple of investment coming out here from Russia early on in this one. Hunter Killer Drone now in the air as well for Nuba. It's basically a full wave of gunfights for Russia. This happened last time around. Germany didn't really have much of a response whatsoever, and that continues to be the case. Spy being hunted down right now. War playing in and around Art. Spy has to deal with him, but Caesar being a proper nuisance with the Sparrow is already finding 2. Now it's the equals coming out from 6 or 5. Everything is being thrown at Germany right now. Russia look like they are in such an indomitable position. Finally, some kind of resistance here, but there's already been, what, a whole minute basically off the clock.
I know. That timing's beautiful. And looking at the wraps as well from Russia, they're going, oh, wow, one player's literally right into Germany's spawn, trying to get at least top bed control. I can see the pinch and the setup they're trying to go for. It's the punishing way to try and, you know, equalize trades. But still, now they need to control mid to make sure the funnels of Germany's respawns don't go there. I mean, bro, the question always is, how quickly do you sacrifice B when it comes to life count? Russia have got 11 lives to the plus of Germany. And in this situation, I mean, Warwick with the war machine in every single case has just made such an impact. Not really to create like 4 or 5 kills, but just to run around with it, be a nuisance, and just draw arrows away from the objective, just to hunt down one player. It's just fantastic macro Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now, isn't it? 18v6, Predator missile comes down, and this is not a situation that you can ever really come back from, is it? Even with the operator in the back pocket for Veer, I don't think any war machine is getting you out of this. Hunter killer drone straight to the face for Spy as well. Veer's war machine is still, technically speaking, active, and now no longer. It's inevitable. Lighty down. Germany's hopes and dreams of a raid control win down, as that's Russia's first real victory in this series.
I mean, fair play. Definitely, you know, to our eyes, it's one apiece. But, you know, Russia now are fully in the driving seat. We're going to go back to a hard point again. And I feel like with the respawn momentum and the players that we've seen so far, 6 or 5 really have started to catch fire. And I don't really see him slowing down going into map number 4. Yeah, I can see it being potentially a 3-1 if, you know, if he can keep the slaying up, if he can stick to objectives, and if he can cut lanes as beautifully as he did there on the raid. So I think Germany need a big answer and a big regroup heading into map number 4. But we look at the stats themselves. As I've mentioned, 6 or 5, 27 and 13 on a very quick raid control. And it felt like every single round, Germany were fighting from the back. Every break off towards B just was counter straight away. And every attempt on A, you know, they got very close a few times. A 13v2, you know, that could have happened in round number 2, Brody. But, I mean, the insurance policies of Russia were taken out every single round. They always would have the 5-6 life deficit. And they'd always make sure that Germany would be receiving end of that. You know, they just kept everything to themselves, but played their lives beautifully.
Yeah, 27 kills for 605. He is having an incredible performance at the moment. Here's that map pool graphic that we promised you guys to show you how this best of 7 was going to go, by the way. Or better late than never, as is always the case. We have gone through Hacienda, Hardpoint, Tunisia, Search and Destroy, and Raid Control thus far in this best of 7. For those of you just joining us here, it's currently 2-1 to Russia. Map number 1 was initially a Germany win before Zuko's banned item meant that actually Russia would end up taking it. We then, of course, went to overtime in Tunisia Search and Destroy. That was a 9-7 victory to Germany. And if you've just joined us, you just missed a 3-0 to Russia in an indomitable raid control victory, given that 2-1 series lead that I just talked about. So Hardpoint Slums, that's next up in this best of 7. And if the first Hardpoint is anything to go by, Connie, I expect this to be really close.
Absolutely. 252-36 was the Hacienda hardpoint to kick things off. I expect the same on the slums as well, same as you, but I do expect that Germany need to send everyone directly onto hill here. It's going to be a massive gunfight, a firefight for control, and looking at the set nades, Neil responds first to open things up, but it's going to be pinstriped at least until Germany can stick themselves onto time.
And Lighty and Spy combine for 3 almost immediately here. Oh, beautiful positioning from Spy towards Brick side. He'll get shut down here. Russia will get traded out here for the moment. Germany now looking for a way back in towards the time. And it's going to be Russia here spawning up on that blue side. Nobody stopping Germany from overextending through blue. And that was a bit of a concern because now those spawns have flipped in Germany's favor. Or in Russia's favor, excuse me. Caesar and War now getting kills. It's absolute carnage towards this time. And Spy and Lighty here now in control of the hardpoint. Germany, they albeit for a moment lost control of the hardpoint. They've now got control once again.
Yeah, very tight from start to finish, especially when slums in the hardpoint format tended to work back in 2012. I mean, a fast-paced SMG in this P1, very viable. I think of Nadeshot and the Scorpion all the way back, and Stumpy as well. But looking at just how we're seeing the adjustments now heading towards the P2, Germany have control of spawns for one thing, but they're also making sure that Zuko is the furthest one up in the team and has the direct line of sight to cut off Russia.
Germany investing early on here. Lighty's had a phenomenal start to this hardpoint, by the way. 11 kills to his name through the first hill. That's rarely heard of. And he wants to get more with the Sparrow. Doesn't find much value for it. At the very least, is pushing players away from the hill, and finally we'll get that kill against Nuba. One player to get through, though. 605. How much damage can he do? Potential breakage of the spawn. 605, good for the first one. Neil, though, triples up. 605 down by way of Spy, and the first wave of kills is good here for Germany.
Tidy finish. Predator missile is accrued as well. Neil's going to spend it straight away. Look at Russia's stack on the south side of the map, Brody. It could be a really calamitous approach, but they're finding their way through. The block for spawn, Germany still have it, but this could be a heavy trap as well. We've seen the rotation from this hill to next, and all Russia needs to do is just hit scrap time, and then they will have one player lurking. Germany is stuck. 10 seconds lost on the new hill.
Hardpoint identified. Capture the objective.
Germany just in such an indomitable position now. Russia do have control of this rotation.
Hardpoint is ours.
Suko
Hardpoint
now looking to find his way through the front. Kill coming through from Lighty. Now investment from Death Machine from War is only going to get 2. And you're fighting through the front. You've already started to get the kills. It is a full yellow feed here, Connie. Germany are in full control of this game. They are not happy with what just happened in that control.
Yep, Veer's pulled out the War Machine as well, just add insult to injury for Russia. I mean, 80-point differential. We said it was going to be a close map, this one, just by the results of the Tunisia Hardpoint, but no, Germany are fighting with their fists out in this case. Look at the spawns as well, just being repinched by Zuko. Set nades as well coming in from mid-map. I could just see Russia getting forced out of every single potential spawn. Germany are reading it like a book, and the smokes are the only real saving grace to try and get a foot onto this hill.
Gets worse and worse, doesn't it, for Russia? We talked about that last game as the most indomitable of all of them for the winning team. This one feels definitely like more so. Germany in control here of this game. Not in control of the rotation just yet. One player's managed to slip behind enemy line. Spy could potentially blow the entire thing up, and he gets shut down. So there is that for Russia, at least. Some kind of ray of light here in what has been a very dark game thus far. Investment from Caesar and now Nuba as well. Try and hold on towards his hard point. Veer, potential flanking play now being made. What can he get done? There's good for 1, but not a second. Nice double here from the Annihilator from Nuba. And this, I feel like, is an absolute desperate investment of the ops from Russia. They needed to get some value out of this. That's exactly what they've done.
And they've extracted every single penny out of that, Brody. Look at the push as well for Russia's case. They can get a full 60 here. This is a very punishing setup here for Germany to try and break. 2 players, make it free across the diagonal line. You know, the spawn point, if you will. I mean, listen, Spy's making a massive hero play to try and flip it, but Germany are just still on the front door. Russia can just walk onto this one, no problem. The Hunter drone as well was on the map trying to hunt extra players, but Germany in this case here, they're just slowly starting to realize we have a comfy lead. We just need a strong P1, even a contested P1 still strong in their eyes, Brody, because they've just taken out so much insurance earlier on in the game.
That was a big kill for Russia, though, to at least get themselves in control of this game. It keeps them in the conversation at least, but as we said, it was a heavy investment. It cost them a much. Germany now looking to get control once again here towards P1. Flanky play being made by War. Can he find any value? Yes, he can. That's Fear out of the play. And now Russia in a potential situation here where they can keep Germany not getting past that 50-yard line. If they can get control of this hill and then get the rotation towards Nu, this is everything.
And they're trying their hardest to close it. But looking at just how the gunfights are going, I mean, listen, they're really twitchy. I'm seeing team kills and seeing set nades just not landing where they're supposed to. So the pressure really is surmounting quite a fair bit on this P1. And looking towards the proactive calls and who's going to P2, there isn't one yet, Brody. 15 seconds and no one's made the proactive call yet to rotate. It is just a firefight on P1.
Yeah, was Russia in control of those spawns? Now they're being a little bit more fought over here, as it's just a couple of players through from Russia. One player might have just gotten past Spy, investing the equals. Spy picks up 2 players, but gets immediately shut down by Nuba. Those spawns now through, but never mind. Rouge goes down, and that should be the spawn flip right there as Rouge falls. But it is possible to hold this one from the front. It's not certain just yet, but Fear with the War Machine. That's the investment that will make it so. You could have held him from the front, not when Veer will break you down.
Oh, and Veer as well, got information on where the push is going to come from. It's going to be mid. And it's just, you know, extra spams on top. And the smokes as well are placed right on the front doorstep, Brody. Russia will be, you know, exposed if they were to take the most popular lane of attack. So they really kind of funneled into the worst possible scenario here. They can't break through the comfy positions. They have to get really dirty, really aggressive, and guess 50-50s for every single gunfight. It's not optimal at all. And Germany just can soak time, build their lead, spam utility, and just, you know, have a breather. Although it sounds really less intense than it really is, they can just breathe on this hill. No problem whatsoever.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Last time around, we go towards the next hard point, and Germany broke pretty darn quickly, although I will say they did have an operator to do so. We've all had the death machine last time and only managed to get a couple of kills for it. So if you can find maybe more value this time, it would be good. But Lighty bringing out that Predator missile almost immediately. You garner a couple of kills. Only actually one. You do know where the last couple of players inside the hard point are. Lighty's Hunter Killer Drone is going to find one. He goes in towards the hard point for the next one, and it's just as fast a break this time around. Lighty continuing his reign of terror finally falls, but the job's done. Germany have broken through.
Grenade out.
Wow, look at this. They're really trying to stick it onto the hill. The Trojans have to go down for Germany to hold it, but they didn't even need it so much, bro. Even a smoke might do a little bit of damage, but they're just relying so much on the LMGs in this case. Just to lie prone, contest, and dodge nades. And it's worked. But Russia now broken from the front. 25 big seconds for them here. This is a massive game. A 100-point gap that they have to close. A perfect rotation will bring them back into this fixture. But in terms of what needs to be done, it's a big ask. A few players need to come online.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Germany in control here for the moment. Nuber, tries, goes through for a couple of kills. Lighty, though, almost immediately fires back with 3 of his own. But this is where Russia managed to get a wealth of time last time around. The only problem is they don't have the investment they had previously because they invested so much in towards that last hard point to keep Germany at bay. And that means they've got nothing to keep Germany at bay here. Germany in towards the hard point now. Now the equals coming out from Spy once again. Shut down from afar will be Rouge. There is a lot more of a battle this time for Germany, but they are going to be the ones in control.
Is ours.
Oh, beautiful. 30 points here to close out. Russia, though, again, this is their best hill so far on the map. I see them holding on to this one. They'll have to be perfect on the next. Germany, their break attempt, it's perfect. Lighty is the conductor behind it as well. And it's just enough time here to win the map. So one perfect hold, and they're all bunkering up on side, Brody. They really want to close it out here.
Germany looking for the last 10 seconds to tie up this grand finals, folks. One more wave of gunfights. That should do it. Sparrow down. Zuko looking for another one. He's not going to find it. But I don't think Russia are going to find a path through towards the hard point either. No contest here. Germany take a dominant map number 4 as they tie up what has been an incredibly competitive grand finals.
Really has. Right from start to finish. Teams are sort of passing the potato, if you will, Brody. It's just way too much of an analogy, not just for how they've been playing, but also the players that are showing up. It's a different one every single time. Last map, it was 6 or 5 up before that. I mean, Zuko as well has been quite consistent in just appearing in that stardom role. But in this one, I mean, really, you have to talk about Warwick. In this case, not just for trying to do his best, but he was the conductor. He was the first person rotating. Lighty, though, like we saw in the first hard point, showed up again. Another 50 bomb. Just why not? Dropped it right onto Russia's heads. It was incredible performance, and just again, every single break attempt, he was the entry. He won every single 50-50 to entry onto a hill, and even on the hills where you could hold from the front despite losing spawns, like that P2 for example, Lighty was there. Lighty was there, and Veer with a war machine in many instances just broke the mold, made it even easier to close.
Yeah, just phenomenal performance from Lighty. Again, 51 kills. What more can you ask for out of that guy? He just continues to, I think, not just deliver, I think, overall, but also deliver, I think, specifically in Hardpoint here. That's the second time that he's done that, gotten a crucial 3-piece towards the closing of the Hardpoint to make sure that it is going to be in their favor. Of course, the first one, though, they ended up losing. But we don't need to talk about that anymore. Right now, folks, this grand final is at 2-2. We have 3 more maps to go before potentially deciding who is going to be the UCE Nations Cup 2025, although we're in 2026. Grand final champion. So before we do that, we're going to take a quick break here. On the other side, we've got another map of Call of Duty Mobile coming your way. Don't go far. Welcome back, everybody, here to the UCE Nations Cup 2025. We just have 3 more maps to go, maybe less, till we find out who's going to be the UCE Nations Cup champions this season. I'm Infinity, that's Connie, and we're walking through this grand final so far. We are currently 2-2, although again, it's important to know that we should technically be 3-1 in favour of Germany, were it not for a mismatch of the rules by Germany. There was a banned item use back on Hacienda Hardpoint. But we have therefore been trading maps all the way to this point. We've got Coastal S&D next up.
I'll tell you what, Brody, these map and weapon bans and disqualifications we've been getting is the Easter egg no one wants. It happens every single series, mate, even in the grand final. But hey ho, we're at 2-2. We're going to go to at least what is one of the more interesting aspects. Love a Coastal S&D. The entire mid lane, the entire line of sight, seeing into your enemy's spawn after like 1 second. Yeah, that's why this one definitely is one favoured towards more of the long range weaponry. But at least with the submachine gun players, I noticed on B, you can have a few instances where you play close quarters combat situations. The nades are really the big thing here. They bounce off the walls even more on this map. Lots of laney, lots of high walls. And it's just going to be beautiful to watch. Now, round number 1, Russia defending. Germany need to plant for this round or to eliminate all the players to get this one converted. Stuns through mid, and Russia are bunkering up on A with a few players extending over to B.
Yeah, nice nade from War, though. That's going to take Neil out of the play here for the moment. Nubra's going to try follow up points immediately with the kill on towards Zuko. So, what was already a not so great round for Germany off the rip here has kind of fallen by the wayside. Veer keeping an eye on the middle of the map is not long for this. Well, War play. Thank you. He opened his eyes. He managed to take Veer down. Now the follow-up here on towards Spy. Spy was preoccupied with the middle of the map. Caesar almost immediately follows up and takes his former teammate down. And now it's all just down to Lighty, who they know what area they haven't checked. Lighty needs to perform miracle.
Oh, no chance. No cigar. A 3-lane map that's very punishing, no matter what your timing is. If you run back and revert back and, try and trace any step backwards, you're just immediately punished by a player that's sprinting full pelt at you. Coastal Search and Destroy never changed, my friend. Everyone towards B this time for Germany. They're going to at least stack it heavily with a player on an offset timing, 2 seconds behind the rest of the team. He can cut a pinch if you need be. Russia, though, they haven't created an overload anywhere near B. Just one player, and it's going to be like, okay, everyone come over now. It's going to be a massive instant reaction.
Yeah, nobody from Russia inside the site, so that's going to be site control here, and it should be an immediate bomb plant from Germany. That's exactly the case. Veer down, though. I really like the big play here for Germany will be Neil, and he gets shut down now. So Germany down to the last 3 players. Zuko peeks out and gets shut down. Now just down to Lighty and Spy. Spy, good for the first. Stunned up both of the players. Surely Spy can't do anything against 3 players barreling towards him. No, he cannot. And Russia, a perfect siege of the site. Germany, careless in their hold.
Germany, I mean, they got everyone on the site, Brody, just in time, but I think that round in itself, Veer was the reason they lost it. First player to swing out and challenge and just was not ready for a gunfight to happen there. Just swung out for the sake of it, just to clear information, and then, Russia could scale their attack comfortably from that point on. Now, again, same idea. Break off toward B. Stun and nade through mid. Will not connect any information onto Russia. But Germany, in this case, again, 6 or 5, not changing the strategy. Just going to hold this, going to shoulder it, because it's always a free kill. And Nuba gets that first blood drawn.
The bomb has been planted.
Now you've got Germany down by 1 man. We saw what happened last time around when they were another man down. Now they've lost another one. 3 players. Once again. 4v3 on the side here for the moment. Perfect slide out for War. Zuko sliding out for the Chow, and he does exactly that. Now down 2v2. Now 2v1. Just one more player. Oh, it's a perfect hold for the last couple of remaining players. It looks like we might see back-to-back meltdowns for Germany, but they're fine. Down to Zuko and Spy clutching up.
Impressive, but equally so, you can't quite fault it in that instance. A really high set nade here for Spy through middle. The smoke, again, is it meant to stop any shots? No. You can still pre-fire, you can sprint through it if you want, you can be brave. But Russia and Germany playing high octane, close quarters combat Call of Duty. The SMG is going to be key here. Look at the kills in the feed. Germany, they have the manpower. They've muscled their way onto A in a post-plant situation. Nuba's got a sniper rifle at this range from this angle. He can maybe find 1 kill, but he's going to get pinched by 2 players. And there you have it. We're tied up 2-2. And again, a very interesting 4 rounds. But this is the first one where we've seen at least an attack onto A. And I feel like in this case, again, the SMGs, they're going to have the most impact in that particular geography.
Yeah, it's a really fast round there. Germany managed to come out on top. I think they might have caught some pace here. Maybe getting a feel for what Russia are like here on the defensive end. It's going to be Rouge trying to keep an eye on that angle. He's immediately shut down by a barrage of util over the top, but you lose Vera in the round here. I think you take that kind of foresight control. Immediate flank being made here by 605 though. Takes Neil out of the play, and now you can really start to collapse. 1-for-1 trade on the other side. Spy going to double up here. Now we go down to a 1v2 as Spy triples up, and Lighty closes things out. It's a little bit discombobulated for Russia on the retake, and it's that reason that it falls apart.
Yeah, no real sense of awareness and no real idea where the next foot should be placed in that situation. Just a big scrabble, Brody. And then no real chance to get any sort of footing in that round. But look at these nades. Again, Russia really challenged out the rip. But a team kill? Hang on a second. I mean, that's one way to make it a 4v4. And looking at the pinch, Germany can take B comfortably. I mean, Lighty's pressed into Russia's spawn, got a player, and now joining the team for an attack. It's excellent hindsight. And looking at the team play, Russia have got 2 left. They're going north and south in a very difficult take here on a fortress.
Yeah, just down to 1. This would be a sensational play if you could pull it off. Oh, they almost line up for a couple of kills, but War won't find it. And it does feel like Germany are now hitting their stride, doesn't it? They are finally doing something in this game. It didn't look good off the start. It looked like Russia might have found their footing in search and destroy, but Germany have really tidied up their S&D over the last 4 rounds. They now have a lead going into the half. And this is where Germany, I expect them to be a lot better, because as I've talked before, Neil and Veer with the sniper rifles, when they're holding angles, it's very difficult to beat them, and that happens almost immediately here off the rip.
Looking at the set nades,
Again!
Yeah, Veer, straight away, no problem. All he's do is throw a shoulder there, Brody, and it's immediately made Russia weak from the hips. Another player dropped as well, 3v4 now. And look at the post play. They have to do it in this situation, but they have to make sure that their model is not viewed, because Veer is on fire. He's in flow state, but oh, okay, never mind. We equalize it, a post plant. Russia can hold this site, but they have to rotate quick, Brody. They can't be stuck on position, not with 3 German players that can swarm this comfortably.
Right over the top from Neil. Good. 6 fight, surely not long. Yeah, he's gone. Beautiful retake coming through from Germany. They tried their best, Russia, to hold on towards the site. It just does not work. And again, it's a team play from Germany. They just thought that they know what they're doing now.
And it's just impressive. So impressive in this situation. And listen, they're only 2 rounds away, and it's just back-to-back, different situations. Veer with the sniper rifle really is the instance where we're seeing the biggest change. It's single-handedly hold or take A. It's half the map covered. It's 1 player alone.
All right, German. Gonna have to deal with this attack here from Russia. It's aggression coming through. 4 players on the site. 3 players surrounding here. Nobody wants to do anything about this just yet. Caesar peeks out. Can he find a kill before Neil takes him down? No is the answer. Veer gonna float with another one now. A couple of players isolated. There is 1 player out of sync with the rest of the team. That potentially would be Nubert, but he has no idea there's a potential threat coming through from the other side. Gets a hit marker. That's really unfortunate. 605 now needs to 1v5, and that's too much to ask. He goes down. Germany having a much better search and destroy now.
Making it tidy, and even that finish as well, not just making A comfortable for Russia, but they just, you know, are finding no real success in a post-plan situation. Russia can get the bomb down, they can't hold it. Really, really interesting, and now that's making Germany's win conditions even easier. Looking at how we're spreading this map too, Russia are going to really fence their way through the middle of the map. Germany are going to go more towards the extremities here, either A or B lane to try and create a pinch, but no, Russia again, got an overload in the middle. And there's just enough information there. Despite Neil dying, Zuko can trade, and there's an immediate play call for Germany, like everyone from Russia currently is mid-back. Make sure your guns are up and they're ready, and it's just working nicely. Light, he's got a kill. Trading comfortably. Now we're in a 2v2. Hang on a second. Nuba there has done an excellent job alongside his teammate to make sure that we can get in this position. But looking at how they're playing it, I mean, Spy, comfortable. All the shots were whiffed there from Russia. But now we're in a 2v1. A post plan. It's winnable still for Russia in this situation. This rotation is going to be key. And again, the timing, Germany, they have to make sure they've got 1 spot in the bomb.
Might have just got the timing. Oh no, not the cleanest of shots. He just misses. He whiffs on towards the second player. and it's all over now. The Russian players are leaving the game. Thanks for that, folks. That definitely doesn't mess up our final scoreboard. Germany end up winning 7 rounds on the bounce in Coastal Search and Destroy to take an advantage here in this grand finals. And imagine, folks, if we didn't use a banned item back in map number 1, right now there'd be your UCE Nations Cup champions, but unfortunately they've got to play another map to get that.
Exactly, my friend. It's just how things go, and it's all about just reading the situations at hand. I think, though, in terms of the S&D, I mean, Germany really look comfortable, not just in this map, but the map before as well, Brady. Bear in mind that Russia were not just a 3-0 control, but Germany were pretty much, shooting without aiming down sight, if you will. They just had no real scope on where the pressure was going to be, and they were really, really unconfident in any respawn. They smashed the Slums Hardpoint. They smashed the Coastal Search and Destroy, and now we're going to go back to a respawn mode, where I really think that I feel like it might be the close we need. It's going to be a real tough finish.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that all the players from Russia didn't get a single kill in that game, because obviously they wanted to leave the game before the game was over. So that's what you get, guys. Terrible performance. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to give you guys an update on what's happened. Now, I know people in chat have recognized it already, and obviously, yes, we as casters have recognized it already. I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, Germany used banned items in that game, but they didn't use banned items. So right now, just to be clear, there was a kill streak that was in the loadout of a couple of players, I believe, on Germany. I'm not too sure what it is. I think it was 2 kill streaks that were banned kill streaks. Now, I'm going to be the kind of neutral party here and say I don't want to make a call because it's not my choice about what's a ban and what's not a ban, but I believe in official rules that means that Russia wins map number 5. I'm just going to get that confirmed because I've asked specifically.
Confirmed. We've passed it.
Christ. All right. Yeah.
You'd be surprised. All this
I'm
hard
typing
work
away.
Gets thrown away.
No. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to go off. I will say, I think it's pretty freaking stupid that we have banned items on, especially following us. Well, why would you even apply them? Like, why? Why would you do that? Either way, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Whatever it is. We're going to map 6. Map 6 is going to be a raid control, or not raid control because we had that earlier on, actually. It's because it was raid control in my notes, because chat told us it would raid control for map 6. Then he lied. It's takeoff control for a map number 6, which means the fly-through will be correct this time around. This could be the final map of UCE Nations Cup as Russia find themselves 3-2 up.
I know, comfortable lead, albeit Germany did throw away 2. We have to at least establish what really has been the driving force in this. But I really think now in this situation, Russia, they already have a control under the belt. It was a 3-0 in the raid. It was convincing. Germany were lost for a lot of the map. They couldn't find a kill. They couldn't find the pacing or the timing to even get them on the board. But different map, different layout, and at least, fresh perspective, a recharge, they can probably do better than that. Let's just say it was a bad map and map number 3 for them. This one, though, the layout, my favorite control in the rotation at this current moment in time, always has been. Love a takeoff. Hoping it lives up to the fireworks and it closes here beautifully, because it would be a really fitting finish.
All right, let's see. Will we finish on a respawn, or will we go back to another search and destroy that inevitably a banned item? I swear to God, if we go to a game 7, and a banned item is used, I am going to lose it at somebody. I don't understand. Anyway, whatever. We are going to a takeoff control next. Obviously, this thing has been a lot more balanced since they fixed the spawns, which is always a fun time. So it's enjoyable, I think, now to actually watch takeoff control. Obviously, we look towards kind of the control tower. That's probably the biggest thing that you want to have if you're on defensive side, to really manipulate the spawns, push players back as far as possible. So just something to bear in mind here if you're these teams as we get into this map. But what a grand finals it has been so far, folks. A reminder that if we didn't have 2 maps banned items used, then we would be this would be over right now. This would be a 4-1 to Germany, which is more or less as I kind of expected it to be. Although I will say, Russia have had a weird time, because that takeoff, that raid control earlier on, Connie, they did, like, totally dismantled Germany in that map.
Oh yeah, round 1 was an 8 life differential. Round 2 was bit hairy. It was 13-2. Germany had a chance where we could have seen one of the most miraculous round wins of all time, but unfortunately they couldn't find the pacing or the kills required to match it. And round 3 was a similar story. 3-0, but Russia knew how to take control points and also knew how to accrue time at the right spots. They're getting positions where there are 5 seconds left on the clock, and all of a sudden, bam, add 10 seconds, then add 10 seconds, and Germany would get twitchy. And I think that's probably one of the biggest keys to victory, or at least a win condition for Germany. It's to just understand patience in these moments where all of a sudden Russia just start adding time to the board because they feel like they need to, put in themselves into 5th gear and play really fast. But actually, it does more damage than good. They're just constantly resetting their spawns, and they're not really keeping momentum on the map where they would want to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just like the start of those control rounds when we go back towards what went wrong for Germany in that raid control was the fact that on their offense, they immediately lost like the first 6 or 7 kills in a row. And it was really only kind of around number 1 where they made some kind of plausible comeback. I think at the end of that round, I want to say it came down to like a 1v3 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Either way, it does feel a little bit like that just can't happen again. Like, you can't come out the gates flat in the way that they did and not expect to lose, because I think the thing is, Control has this, really interesting kind of snowball effect, and I think respawns across the board have that snowball effect all the same, but Control has this interesting snowball effect where if you lose round number 1 in an indomitable fashion, you're going into round number 2 facing streaks and operators, and it can really snowball against you. Now, obviously, kind of the way that the game works, you'll likely have them yourself in round number 3, but if you let the opposition get an EMP, for example, then maybe even accrue a couple of EMPs, well, then all of a sudden that advantage isn't really an advantage anymore. So it's very easy to lose your footing and not able to be able to get it back in Control, and that did feel a little bit like what happened back on that raid. That can't happen again here. If you're Germany, it does feel like your backs are against the wall, because the one map in this series where you convincingly lost it, or really just lost it full stop, was that earlier Control, and you're now faced with a Takeoff Control where you can't let those same mistakes happen again.
Absolutely. Never a situation can be brought up where you're going to be repeating and rinsing ideas that, work once, work twice, work 3 times. It's constantly evolving. But I think the biggest change is tempo. Always tempo under Control. The idea of catching time and playing for kills has always been the 2 schools of thought of whether this game mode's an art or a science. You play team deathmatch or you just play objective. You flick it between the 2, and then the teams that have the most understanding and the cohesion between themselves to play the correct situation gets the round win. It's just copy and paste for every single map and mode. It's just, I think, in this situation, what side can be utilized the most in this instance? I just feel like, again, I think the actual score streaks and specialists in Takeoff Control have way more impact than Raid. I feel like if you were to pull out a Death Machine, pull out a War Machine, pull out an Equalizer, and get 3 people off of a tick, it's easy to do in this one. But it's about, again, a numbers game. Can you smash 5 players into a point? Can you smash 3 players to take them out of that point? Can you win your 50-50s? Big questions will be answered. But we'll go straight into this map number 6. Or maybe not. They're leaving the game.
Nice work. Get ready for the next round.
Now, in the UK, I mean, globally, I think there are laws that prevent murder. It's illegal. It's not. It's banned. Although I suppose if you're Team Germany here, that wouldn't make a difference, would it? Because we don't care about the rules. We do whatever's banned anyway. But that murder is illegal in the UK, and so that's the only thing right now that is preventing me from throttling these players. Of course, in Minecraft. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Guys!
Time wasting. The
Guys,
dark arts have been
listen,
called, Brody.
All right, I'll say this much, okay? So, I believe on Twitter, I think it was on Twitter that Rel and chat said that if 150 people watch this concurrently, that they will do another UCE tournament. So, suck it. You guys have to do another one now, because you guys are at 156. There's 156 people watching this tournament right now. Now, listen, guys, what I will say is, if there's 156 of you here, I need you all collectively to petition these players to stop freaking using banned items in an official tournament, because the amount that it happens in UCE is insane. Stop. I don't understand. I genuinely don't get it, because they never do it in SPS or whatever the equivalent. They never do it in Masters, I think is what people call it now. Why do it here? Why? I'd love to know the actual like reasoning, like the mind process behind all of it, because I don't have a Scooby, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Different perceptions, I suppose. I mean, what we dealt with in our time of mainline COD. I mean, in cardboard, there'll be instances where you couldn't change score streaks, so you couldn't really use. There were UAVs on classes. There were even tanks on classes, but you could only use the cruise missile, despite having them available. Players just wouldn't use them. It's the understanding, I think, just between where the rule sets are. Some people were really strict, so obviously, again, you're gonna have banned items. Allow them to be banned. It should be a DQ. For players, again, there's a difference between having and using banned items. They'll just have them on the class. They forgot to change them, will play the game, but then they don't use them, so they won't use them. We're in a grand final. And it's in broad daylight to be caught using that stuff. We just haven't seen that yet. And I think, again, it's just how things are. But again, first blood's drawn. We're stuck into the game, Brody. Russia already falling to Zuko's wrath. He's angry after that round. He's angry after the last map. Germany are responding comfortably on the opening bell of this control.
All right, let's see. Is it as indomitable as a start as it was last time around? The answer, as you said already, is feels like no. Off the rip, Germany doing a pretty good job holding Russia at bay. A couple of players have slipped the net, though, so keep an eye out for what Caesar could potentially do. But he's losing his teammates, and if you're in a position where you pushed all the way through towards the other side, you do actually need to do something. You need to try and clear some space for your team. You can't just sit there and wait. And finally, Caesar will activate for that first gunfight. Follow-up kills, though, good here for Germany. Nuba looking to hold it from the Takeoff side, and he goes down. And again, you need to be a little bit more active in clearing space. It feels like that hasn't been the case so far for Russia. They haven't really been able to get past that 50-yard line.
Ooh, Lighty again. These pinches, we've seen them so often in the respawns when he comes into the map, and it's just effective because it just draws Russia away from any sort of objective. They have to hunt him down and deal with him. All the while, the team can progress the map comfortably and just make themselves more of a presence. And listen, when it comes to this, look at how Russia are at least handling the situation. They're fencing their spawn, Germany's controlled mid, and they're saving utility as well, quite nicely. I mean, Lighty's trying his best just to squeeze around, make it comfy. But just look at how things are going, and look at how Germany have played this one beautifully from start to finish. Russia down to their last wave.
Yeah, Russia just really been unable to find any footing whatsoever here in this one. London remaining player, Veer will formalize it. What a great round, I think, from Germany. I think just off the rip, right, to get that opening wave of gunfights in the way that they did. And I think for Russia to have that opportunity and for them really to be shut down, Caesar could have probably found a little bit more, could maybe have jumped onto B to maybe cause a distraction, open up a little bit of space towards A. That small little decision making from Russia ends up losing them round number 1. So good start for Germany. Now in towards round number 2. Can they have as much of a good start this time around on the other side? Looking for the opening wave of gunfights here, but it's a full yellow feed. Only 1 kill goes blue for Germany. But one player has actually survived the onslaught in Zuko. And team shots with Zuko involved in the fight might will open the door for Germany to get back through.
They're doing well, at least to establish themselves in the middle of the map. Look at the points too. Only really the first instance now we're seeing some time progress, but with Russia step on, Germany get the kill and just get rid of it straight away. And no, Russia, they're doing fantastic. They're making it at least a bit dicier, at least a bit more of a challenge. Where Germany have got nothing on the board. They'll get a little bit on, Russia will take it away. These stuns are just stalling time, making space more comfortable, even for Russia in this instance. This little free life differential could easily become a 6 or a 7. We just need to see if certain players can come online, particularly if Warwick as well can just find these routes. We've seen it previously. Zuko now in the middle, trophy down in hand, Sparrow available, and a death machine available as well. Germany can potentially get something here at least. Spy though in the feed, making it beautiful.
Taking Alpha.
We're going to follow up with kills here. 14v14 in terms of lives. We're starting to see these operators on the board now, folks. 25 seconds left here. Germany will take a slow capture of A. And I think Russia is really worried at the moment of potentially losing some kind of spawn, some kind of map control. Caesar are now going to push forward here. Will he invest a Sparrow to stop this one? It would have been nice to see him do it, but will not do so. Double stack here through pinstripe kill feed means that Germany now capturing A. They've now got a 1 life advantage as well as they start to mount the offense on towards B.
Oh, tidy finish here from Russia, but it's only because they can now start stacking comfortably. Only one left between them, but we're down to the last 2 waves here, Brody. So Germany are going to really slow it down. Hopefully catch Russia's way from a really careful AR. But look at Zuko. Neil really kind of dicing up the map nicely. And Nubra's the Annihilator. Again, this is a gun that can really change it alongside the Sparrow. But Germany have to just, you know, really sink their teeth into this one. Warwick there is running around the back of the VMP, and again, he's a distraction. It's about using the streaks. 4-3. Hair-raisingly close. Oh, what a finish. Zuko, Spy, collect a few extra kills on top. And we're down to what could be a very, very penalizing round. Russia, 1v3, swings around the side. Lighty closes it out. Germany 2-0 up here in the control.
Yeah, that double investment from Russia, I think, was the right call in the moment there to try and equalize things in this control, but just not really amounting to anything whatsoever. You lose that round, as you said. It's penalizing for sure. Now we're seeing this off-the-rip play, pretty box-standard utilization of the War Machine to kick things off. Saving this one was Veer. That's why you didn't see it bring it out at the end of the last round, and for good reason. It funnels all of these players in towards that stadium side. And now they've got no choice, really, but to try and get through towards B. Finally, Veer gets shut down. I will say, for that start from Veer with the War Machine, you don't really get that much map control from it. Russia still have presence through the middle of the map.
Absolutely. And it's just such a damning event, too, because look at Russia's spread. They're going to be picked off from the outside. That's if Germany, again, can make sure they're using the utility right. There's smoke in the middle, actually, technically speaking. It's forcing Russia to speed up, and it's punishing Germany quite a bit. Not the intended result from the utility they wanted to use. But, I mean, 605, he's called out the spawns now. He's making it tricky for Germany, really, to make a big impact from this point. But looking at how Russia just intend to try and segment the map, I mean, listen, we've got 1 tick on the board for Germany. They might refocus efforts towards B, but I think Russia in this case, yeah, they just want to stack A constantly. They constantly want to try and get one thing off the board. 17-18, half the lives have been used on this, really at the midway portion of this map now.
Go up. Things even in lives, at least. Second tick through on A. Germany close to losing A control. I think you kind of want to just not overinvest in towards this one, and there is the A gone. So you're going to hold on towards B here for the moment. The crucial thing here for Germany is they don't have anybody inside that red, so that means that Russia are going to get close to spawns. They're going to be able to consistently swarm through on towards Germany here. Opportunity to do so, but you lose that first gunfight. That's not a good start.
No, it's difficult. It's very much a challenge now, or at least an uphill battle to try and get something moved. But look at what Caesar can work with here. I mean, trying to play for a Sparrow in this situation would definitely make the impact. I think Germany right now, again, are also just assessing the options. Like Russia have really gamble stacked the middle of the map here, Brody. And it's just a lot of pressure to deal with for Germany. The equalizers for Spy, oh, needed, but just no real look for a fight at all. And Veer is stuck in the back. Russia are really confident in their fights. They're swarming nicely. They're absorbing so much utility. But now it's just down to when this death blow is going to happen. What's the killing move?
AV4. Investment from Lighty. Oh, he finds 2 with it. Zuko following up another one. All of a sudden, this is a 3v4. This is more than possible. Double investment now coming out as well. Neil going to use the Tempers. This is beautiful from Germany to close things out. And Russia are a million miles away. They do have 2 ops themselves. And that might go against Lighty and Neil here because their ops are about to run out just as they make content. Here comes Caesar with the Sparrow. But Zuko Sparrow comes in at the same time. Lighty still has a tad bit of Annihilator left to go. And that's a 3-0 here in the control for Germany. Yet another moment where I get to say they could have had it all. But they are going to force us into a Game 7 here in this Grand Finals.
We got what we wanted, Brody. All the way to the very end. A map 7, a search and destroy to see who would be crowned our Nations Cup champions. I must say, it's poetic for sure, especially given how the maps have unfolded and how they've been passed around, if you know what I mean. I must at least exaggerate here, Germany's strategy here on the control, it was very dynamic. Lots of impressive moves being made out of Zuko, but I think Spy and Neil, their ability to sort of coordinate their utility and their specialists, it just made it a difference. Warwick was the big ask here, at least for Russia. He was the one that was rotating around with a VMP, kind of cutting the lanes up, making it a bit mixier. But again, none of the team could get on board with it, especially in that final round there where Russia had an 8v5 life advantage. The smokes completely ruined it for them. The smokes made Zuko untrackable, and he can get free kills just like that. And with kills like that on that point, they lost all the positions, spawned out in Narnia, and Germany can reset with utility and specialists available. Absolutely punishing.
All right, well, that means, folks, we have a Game 7 here. All of it comes down to a standoff search and destroy to decide who will be your UCE Nations Cup champions, of course, unless somebody uses a banned item, at which point it wouldn't be the winner of the map. It would just be who decides to spawn in with something, I don't know, like an advanced UAV. Hey, maybe we don't do that in the standoff S&D. Just a thought, guys. Maybe let's use our brains here for this Game 7. So, something in mind. Listen, record this message. This is for future me. I'm going to put this in a time capsule and open it up in about 10 minutes or so. Don't use a banned item. Don't do it, because I'll lose my nut. I'll lose everything. I don't have that much mental health left in me, if I'm being perfectly honest. So let's not do that again. Yeah. All right, there it is. We'll open that up in about 10 minutes or so. We'll circle back to that. But we do have a standoff search and destroy, folks, of course. Months of action if you're just joining us here. And I know there are a lot of people that did join us halfway through the last map. Welcome in. This is Game 7 of the UCE Nations Cup Grand Finals. This is a tournament that's been going on for a really long time with some of the best teams in the world, but a handful of the best teams in the world, representing their country in this very unique competition. All of it comes down to Germany versus Russia here in the grand finals. Germany should have had this in the bag twice by now, but alas, they have been forfeited a couple of times in this series. It meant that they did not do so. So, Game 7, stand up. I've got to ask, who have you got?
Has to be Germany in this situation. Just for poetic purposes. I can't see any situation where a team wins a series 3 times, but 2 have been disqualified in the technicality of a banned item. So it really would have to be, the killing blow, a swan song for Russia. But I must say, for a standoff search and destroy, I think it will be a quick one, realistically. You know what this map's like? Geography's tiny. You run into someone every 5-10 seconds. And, the power positions, only 3 on the map that we really can note of. And it's very easy for the ARs to do well. More so for snipers to hold down these bomb sites. Just tricky all around.
All right, let's see. We're just loading into our Game 7, folks. The title of UCE Nations Cup champion is on the line. And I'm going to go back to something I was talking about earlier on. Back in map number 2, with the Tunisia search and destroy, Germany barely won it. But it felt like a lot of the rounds they lost were kind of lost by virtue of their own failures. They were playing way too passively at times, and they were certainly, I think, playing really silly the way that they would give themselves away for free. So they stopped doing that in Coastal, and that got them the win. They seem to have their stuff together in search and destroy. Let's go, folks. It's the grand finals here. Game 7, and V is already down.
Oh, tricky start so far for Russia. Control mid-map, make it even more of a dicier fixture, because they are really making sure they got the man advantage off the rip. The set nades have been used as well. And what's Germany's response? Well, they actually hold down a site. A post-plant situation is all on the cards here. 40 seconds to hold. Russia could actually pinch from 2 angles, and the sniper's already broken up a massive hole in Jen. Look at this. An awkward pinch now where Russia could eliminate comfortably. Lighty to sacrifice a site. He gets 2.
Lighty!
Lines up 3, the shotgun in hand. Oh, you thought for a second there it wasn't going to be. The push from Russia was strong. But fair play. Germany, by the skin of their teeth, get that first round on the board.
Destroy the objective. Bomb acquired.
Yeah, Lighty goes huge there. Big 3 towards the end of round number 1, and he's continuing that momentum into round number 2 as well. More kills coming through here for Germany to kick things off. Nice trade coming through from Rouge. Now 4 versus 4 we go. That's bombed down in the middle of the map here, but Germany have already made a fair bit of progress. And now nobody to worry about inside Kebab as well. So Germany, really good position here in the search and destroy.
Yeah, bomb is down for now. Germany are just playing their corners carefully.
We have the bomb.
Yeah, the pixels just about connects with the second shot there for Russia. But now we're in a 1v1.
The bomb has been
6 will
planted.
fly. Sorry, make it a 2v1. Didn't even spot it. Player planting. Oh, 6 will fly. Really in a tough spot in this situation. Playing careful on Delhi. Germany have got a punishing setup in hand. One player rotating, one player stuck. It's all about timing in this case. And I think Neil in this situation wants to be really cautious, but take the fight where he needs to take it. Lighty being this high up as well. Doesn't even need to put a sniper. The shotgun answers the question. 2-0. And Germany, thanks to Lighty's heroics, has actually closed out both rounds.
Destroy the objective. We got
7
the
kills through the first couple of rounds of this game. 7 has Lighty. It's not even the snipers that have done much here for Germany. And that's a beautiful nade over the top to kick things off for Neil as well. Finding a path through the middle of the map right now are Germany. Russia now scrambling for back alley control. It will once again be Rouge to trade things out. Oh, Rouge finds another one. Dirty with the Tundra 2. We go 3 for 3 now. And Germany don't have as much map control as they thought.
Not at all. The bomb has been planted right inside the middle of the map. Nothing on the site yet. Because that carrier is really where it's tricky. But hang on a second. Lighty's got
enemy has
the
dropped
biggest
the bomb.
audio cue possible. Spots one, just a simple hit marker in hand. Doesn't realize the pressure Russia have here on the northwest side of the map, Brody.
Germany could theoretically get this bomb down over towards A. Lighty keeping an eye on the flank. Has a lot to do. Weight of the world on his shoulders in this 3v4. Bomb down. And it still feels Lighty. Whiffs his first shot. He's got another thing coming his way, literally. War is close in proximity. Lighty stunned up. He just needs to waste some time. The clock switches over towards the SHO. Not going to win the gunfight. Lighty down. Now Germany starting to feel the walls close in a little bit. Veer tagged up in a 1v2. He's down. He's dead to right. Zuko, though, exits on the other side of the site. Need to try and hold it. It's not going to happen. Lighty falls and the floodgates open.
Oh, 6 will fly with the final kill and the defuse in hand. Russia's first round on the board here in the final map. And what a way to close it too. 4v2 was pretty much 30 seconds of the round, Brody. Now Germany got the bomb down in hand. Fair play situation. Again, kind of forcing Russia to make the next move, but they just packed up as a team. 4 players did not leave an arms width of each other. Germany had to try and separate to get at least 2 1v1s isolated. They couldn't get it in hand. Now in the new round, look at this spread. Russia swarming over towards A, and Lighty's at the picture straight away. That's the entry for Germany out in the opener.
Neil keep an eye on that back alley. Problem is Neil's not really able to do anything at this point in time. He needs to help out his teammate. And he's involved in an engagement. Veer falling through the middle of the map. Neil is stuck in his spawn. He gets a freebie. 605 jumps right out and gets a tag on towards the second as well. Not able to follow up with the machine pistol here. And there finally he is. Oh, another one. Neil putting on a clip show here. Brings this down from a 1v5 to a 1v2. But Rouge is ready for him. Neil denied what would have been an exemplary clip. But I think we had basically, 60% of one there. It was phenomenal nonetheless.
Yeah, Neil was trying to restart FaZe Clan there, and fair play to him. Very close finish. But now, we are still at 2-2. A lot of S need to get through here in the final map. Look at the nades, though, the stuns. Got to be at least 15 thrown there, right across from B to A. And Russia are fenced out of this site. Difficult position here. Lighty now is in prime position here to get that first blood on the board, but he's in the optimal spot now where he can control this site. And Germany's post-plan is live. A player pinching Nuba out of the fray, and Russia now only got one angle to try and push this, and they've got Lighty to deal with as well. It's just a bunker to get in.
It's very difficult, especially when the cross is being watched by Spy. Although, Spy's taking a long route here for a reposition, and now he should finally be getting involved once again. 605 tagged up. There goes Rouge as well. Yeah, good reposition coming through from Spy to close out that round for Germany. They lost their footing, but it was only for a moment.
Yeah, a stone's throw away, and that could have been a very different round. very different prospects. It was very much a 50-50 for what could have panned out. But looking at the set pieces again, round number 6. The trophy at the top will, yeah, everything over towards A now has been hindered a little bit. A few have snuck through, and look at the health points too. I mean, Neil has just smashed Warwick. 4 nades went right into cut. And now Germany can take control of the site again. Look at this. Number 2 dotting around into spawn. It's Lighty. Unfortunately, he dies. Ah, Zuko as well. There you go. 2 biggest fraggers in Germany out the picture, but we're in a post plant. It doesn't really matter so much. It's more about how positioning can be held. The information was not great on Germany's side. Hang on. Overextension here from 6 will fly. Makes it a 1v3 now. And it's a very difficult spot just for Russia to even get a look.
Yeah. He's taking some pot shots at the moment. 25 seconds on the clock. And he's getting tagged from the side. Veer should be the one to finish this off, and he will be. Good effort there from Rouge to try and hold on in that round, but everything just falling away for them. So at the half here, folks, Germany 4-2 up now. We've been here before. Germany took commanding control in the second half with Coastal. I think it was 3 rounds on the bounce to close things out. It was 7 rounds on the bounce in total. Russia were 2-0 up at the start of that search and destroy, but we do have the same score at the half, excuse me. Germany just need to close things out right now, but they're currently being assaulted by A, and that double start from Germany is going to make things even worse to Russia. Nuba is trying to get some easy picks off with the sniper rifle, but Germany, they're not giving it away for 3. They're fighting. Zuko, though, goes too far out into the open and will get punished for it.
Fair play. Look at how this round has kind of panned out. Russia hyperextending the arms. Veer gets another trade out. What was that? Just a hit marker. Lucky to get away with his life. Never mind, though. Neil, though, pays the price. And now we've got to wrap the bomb all the way towards B. Germany are actually making sure they're holding this, because Veer's in a very important position, not just map control, but for site control, too.
And 2v2. Russia deep in towards the gas station here. Germany have all of their angles covered in this instance. So yeah, I think might just be trying to play for some kind of audio cue. Spy might move as well. Russia taking their time with this retake here. 25 seconds on the clock. You don't really have that much time left to go, and this should be seen. Veer should know. He should be watching this cross like a hawk. Yep, there's the shots coming through. Veer doesn't get away cleanly. And now the go signal will be given towards Spy as well, that, hey, you can keep an eye over towards the A bomb site. All you got to do is prevent them from crossing on towards it. They have to commit now with 5 seconds left. There goes 6 or 5. You don't even have time for the bomb plant anymore. Russia just take way too long to get that going.
Absolutely. They kind of stalled halfway through that round, Brody, where I thought maybe they have a chance actually to speed things up and cause some tempo problems for Germany. But no, they just got read like a book. It was very difficult to see. But now let's take our eyes over towards A. Plenty of nades being thrown by Germany just to try and get information, or even try and take space. I think at the start of the round, we're not seeing much being held onto for the latter portion of either team. They just chuck the nades out and hope they get a kill, which I understand, but in these retakes, Russia could use with a few nades, let me tell you. Look how they're swinging it here, north side of the map. Highly contested. Spy immediately drawn out and taken for that first blood. And yet, Russia collapsing comfortably. A few extra body shots as well. Straight into Lighty and to Veer. They mean business. And that round has collapsed quickly for Germany.
Yeah, just much better from Russia on the whole. Zuko down for the count. That was a much-needed round for Russia. I don't think you want to go down 6-2 here in a Game 7, albeit I think it was, only a couple of days ago where we saw Germany 6-3 up, 5-1 up, I believe it was. They had a massive advantage in the semi-finals in Search and Destroy Game 5, and they did lose it. So it is possible to come back, but still it does feel like Russia getting some momentum at this point in the game is important nonetheless. Germany, you can tell they've definitely been shaking by that. They're playing this one significantly more passively. I say that, and Lighty gets aggressive through Brown, gets immediately shut down. And that might be the go signal for Russia to try and push through the backline here. Caesar certainly thinks so. And you will take a trade. You'll take a 1-for-1, but not like that. Spy comes through and gets not just Caesar, but Warwick. And now this is awkward for Russia.
Very tight spot to be in. I don't think they want to be here in the first place. We are literally a couple rounds away from Germany potentially taking the cup. And Russia's pressure really surmounting the nerves here, Brody. Looking at how they're trying to, cut the map up and get towards a site. There's no room. Germany have covered all bases here, not just on B but A. And that bomb has not even touched their hands yet. So look at how they can try and take it. A big pinch here in the middle.
Nuba doubling up. Hold on. All of a sudden, this 2v3 becomes a 2v1. Spy has to try and get control. Technically speaking, he doesn't have to do anything. He's not the one on the offense here, but he's making so much noise in a 1v2. Too many places to look. Russia, take that all day long. Spy, why are you sprinting around the map, buddy? You're making so much noise.
Absolutely. Definitely a tough spot. Could have been 6-3 Germany there, but Russia got very, very fortunate in the end. 2 clean kills. And also Germany's pinch just didn't work at all. And it's really costed them here because momentum now can slot comfortably into Russia's feet. And look at how they're pushing this one. Northwest side of the map, all covered. Gas station taken care of. Delhi taken care of by Germany. There's no room to breathe at all. Veer gets that first blood. That's crucial. Stop the push. But again, it's an overload in the west side of the map, and Russia really want to try and take B. I think in this spot here, Germany have to pray Lighty can retain his life and cause more of a disturbance, because that really is the only person that I can see being drawn into a fight.
Well, first kill here coming through in the ensemble from Lighty. His aggression finally pays dividends, and you're following up another one from Neil now as well. Last couple of players here for Russia on totally opposite sides of the map, and Rouge is left just taking pot shots. Oh, I mean, it's perfect, isn't it? He makes so much noise. He knows that Lighty is going to make some kind of chow, because that is just how Lighty plays COD Mobile, and he almost immediately gets punished for it. So it's something. It's some way back into this round.
I know, and 605 again has to make it out of this really awkward choke point in mid here. Germany have got the numbers to cover it. Based on the barrel, yeah, spots one, dips into Delhi, very safe. Germany can do a bait switch here. Spy picks up the kill, finishes his dinner, and now it's just one player left. Again, Russia have to be aggressive. It's 30 seconds left on the board. Have to get the bomb planted. Germany have spotted his position. A stun check going out top. And now it's just about sprinting out of harm's way. No chance. Sniper rifle pulled out to try and get like a no-scope. No way. 6-4. Series point for the cup. Germany needs to win this next round.
Destroy the objective.
Championship point here in the UCE Nations Cup, folks, for Germany. Lighty has had a phenomenal search and destroy so far. 12 kills to his name. And this time, he is playing in a totally different spot. Over by A, expecting some kind of a aggro push from Russia. It doesn't come just yet. Russia are waiting for that initial push. A lot of util going out, and it will tag Germany. So they're garnering information. Here comes first point of contact, though. Veer over the wall. Oh, he goes down. But Neil is good for the trade to 4v4.
Beautiful look. Russia. Compact setup here outside of B. And Lighty again is just shouldering for info. But Neil hasn't even turned around yet to support. I think, again, a lot of the thought process here is to cover this gas station side. It's been Russia's favourite spot, but they're going for a very big play call here. Dipping towards the south side of the map, right through statue. They want to try and aggress towards A, and they're overloading Zuko in a very tough spot. The kill converts, site will be theirs, and they have a 4v2 to toy around with Germany.
I don't think Nuba knows that Spy is right below him. Maybe he's got some kind of audio cue, but the way he's acting, I don't think he has any clue that Spy is here whatsoever. The problem is for Spy and Neil is, look, we've talked a lot about SMGs at the range that they have. The VMP is pretty darn good, but I don't know if it's going to be able to do anything here with the kind of the area of the map that they have to cross, the no man's land they have to cross. Spy down. There goes Neil as well. Russia, they live to see another round.
Oh, fight another day. Germany have to win this one. Russia need to win this one to force an overtime.
Defend the objectives.
And this needs to be pretty much perfect from the Germans. Look at how Russia have handled this as well. Beautiful setup they've gone for too. Smoke in mid, try and cover area. Lighty's aggressed so far up. in this position, but again, cannot win a gunfight there. 2 shoulders from Germany in this close quarter situation. Zuko opens up proceedings. Important first blood as well. And look at how the kills are collapsing on Germany. 3-1. A 4v2. Make it a 4v1. Nuba in no man's land. Outside a gas station with a sniper rifle. Just about squeezes away with his life.
He finds one. This is still plausible for Nuba to try and salvage the UCE Nations Cup. He's got a lot to do, though. He's got to pick up that bomb for 1. And then he probably has to get at least one of these gunfights. The issue is here in this 1v3, though, is the fact that Germany aren't silly. I've talked a lot about how they are mistake-prone. They are just going to stick up, stay as a 3. Yeah, if Nuba gets the bomb, that's fine. But they know he's also probably going to exhaust so much time off the clock here. Just playing cautiously around the map, clearing almost every single angle so that he isn't caught by surprise. And so they are going to play as passively as possible here. Nuba might have chosen his bomb site of choice. It will be B. He's got to hurry up. He just has to hurry up in this instance. Audio trying to bait out these players. Oh, and Fear shoots him through. Where on earth did that come through? An explosive way to close out the UCE Nations Cup. Shout out to Team Germany. After many trials and tribulations and DQs, they will be your champions.
Fantastic round, Brody. And what a series. I mean, Germany, by the skin of their teeth, and by many instances, are now officially the UCE Nations Cup champions. And what a fantastic grand final it's been. Definitely not short of drama for one thing, but I think poetically to close it out, a wallbang snipe. Yeah, I love it. I love it. The Search and Destroy has been clinical all day, and it really is only a small oracle, a small glimpse into what has been a fantastic series. But Lighty again, the MVP for that map, highest in the building. 6 will fly as well, 13 and 8 as well for Russia, and they will walk away as vice champions, silver medalists, however you want to call it. Still an impressive showing, and definitely one to take home.
Yeah, I believe I just watched it back on the replay from the YouTube, and I think it was that he was using like a box jump up or something to jump over the wall. So yeah, shout out to Team Germany, shout out to Veer for closing out that Search and Destroy with a sniper rifle play. Beautiful, beautiful end to the S&D, and of course to the UCE Nations Cup 2025. We apologize for it taking as long as it did. Obviously, as we said, we had some game loop issues that meant that we couldn't spectate things towards the end of December, so we had to delay things into January 2026, but it has been incredibly fun to close things out here. So massive GGs to everybody, all of the competition here, all the competitors I should say, who have been part of the UCE Nations Cup over the last few months. It's been really fun to cast as many of the games as possible. Shout out to Elder, the broadcast team, both on camera and behind it as well. Massive shout out to James, who has been an absolute trooper both today and on Friday, as the person who's been pushing all the buttons and making sure you guys actually get to watch Call of Duty Mobile. I do want to give a huge shout out while we've got some time here, just to chat and reel in, because they do so much for the European and really now wider Call of Duty Mobile community. And I think people need to give them a lot more love, because without them, it would be a lot more dry here in Call of Duty Mobile. So just a massive shout out to them. They're watching the replay. I'm just keeping an eye on the admin chat, because they're watching the replay for something potentially crazy. But so I just want to make sure before I close out the stream. But what I will say is, yeah, just a massive shout out to chat and reeling, because what they've done and the entire wider UC staff for European and again, outside of that Call of Duty Mobile community has been phenomenal. So massive shout out to them. But for you, Connie, you've been here. You got a chance to cast this grand finals. You would have cast it with Narski the first time around. Had we not had to delay things in towards January. But thoughts on that final grand final?
Oh, it was jam-packed full of action. I mean, of course, my lovely Narski is currently in China for a few weeks, so he couldn't make it today. But it's a pleasure to be with you, Brody. In always a situation where we're together on camera. It's always fireworks and it's always a good time. The series itself, the gameplay, riveting. I mean, in terms of what Germany were able to pull off in many instances, electric. Russia, I felt, could have easily been champion in many situations. Their respawn was not bad at all. We saw them on the raid control. We saw them in the first hardpoint, very much neck and neck. And the Search and Destroys, they can close. But I think Germany had a little bit more in the tank today in this best of 7. Despite everything that went on and all the tilting moments that could have come out of a best of 7 like this, they held their nerve. They got the cup. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, sorry guys, we're just currently waiting on some kind of admin issue. We're not entirely sure what it is. Again, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sit here and say something's wrong and then it not be wrong. Vice versa. What we're doing, okay. All right. The on-broadcast call is that Team Germany have won the UCE Nations Cup. The UCE can sort whatever administration stuff that they want. Honestly, I got a pork pie downstairs in the fridge that I go eat, mate. So I'm going to go eat that. GD Zul, thank you so much, everybody, for watching UCE Nations Cup 2025. It's been a pleasure. Stay safe, folks. Enjoy your gaming on those phones. Don't keep them too warm. See you in a bizzle. GG's.